Fuck that, dude. I wouldn't want that. There's a reason wolves don't perform in the circus.
Oh, yeah. Because one of them looked around one day and they're like, what the fuck are we doing?
Bro, we're not getting paid right here.
Bro, I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting laid unless it's on someone else's terms. This is some fucking bullshit, bro.
I think that's wild, though. Like, the dog family can be broken down into things that you can't train and things that are completely untrainable.
What do you mean?
Wolves and dogs. Like, dogs are the definition of, like, man's best friend. Train them to do anything. You know what I mean? Hunt, fucking pack, like, carry shit on their back, or, like, you know what I mean? And wolves are, like, you can't train them. There's a reason they're not in the circus. Like, you can't depend on a wolf not to fucking be like, I'm going for your throat right now.
Right. Like, I'm just going to say right now, I'm in charge. Exactly. And I'm going to prove that by killing you.
I just think that's, like, kind of interesting because, like, they either go in that family, like, fucking vicious, fucking majestic, untamable beasts, or, like, you know what I mean?
Are cats
Renee
like
is dressing up her dog in fucking flannel pajamas. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a very big divide in that family.
Or it's like the meme where it's like, you know, you used to be one of the most extraordinary predators in the world, and now you're like wearing clothes for a family photo. And
you go around a campfire just one time to pick up scraps, and all of a sudden you're wearing pajamas.
Yeah. Right after one another, dude. Can't you say the same thing for cats though? Like, aren't there, like, you know, house cats aren't technically trainable, but they're like...
Oh yeah, it kind of goes the opposite way. The big cats are trainable, house cats are not so much.
Yeah, big cats are pretty trainable, aren't they?
Yeah. I feel like they're more trainable than, like...
Oh my gosh, you can train them to not be assholes.
Like cats.
But then, yeah, but even sometimes like dogs, like my aunt had a horrific experience with dogs. You know, and short of going into great detail, like a very bloody massacre essentially of smaller dogs. Yeah, so like her big dogs attacked her smaller dogs, and you know, it was a bloodbath. It literally was a bloodbath. And I mean, hey, I guess everyone's got a breaking point in some respect, but that's pretty much why I refuse to have like more than one dog in the same breed. Because they were the same breed, and she had them forever. She had them for fucking 10 plus years.
I can't really speak. So was it like a red flag dog? Like a dog capable of like aggression?
No, they keep the red flag dog up in the bedroom. The two dogs they all got along. They were all friends. They threw them. She threw them treats, and the small dogs tried to eat it first, and then just fucking snapped and just ripped the small dog to shreds.
I have a bunch of labs varying in size and like gender and all that, and I think the worst, like, Smokey will snap at the kids, but it's like their mom. So,
well, I'm sure it's a complete spectrum of possibility. You
know? No, I'm not denying that something like that would fucking happen. Like Goblin, Bandit's father, and Goblin have always had issues. They have to be kept separate, and I don't. It's really weird to me because Bandit has like no issues with any other dogs. Usually, like, if the owner comes up to us and they'll be like, oh, like, my dog, like, you gotta watch out, like, that's when, like, you'll see Bandit, like, I think it's, like, because, like, the owner's, like, emanating, like, a nervous energy.
Right.
And, like, Bandit, it's just like, oh, shit's about to go down. Like, so, like...
I'm in charge.
Right. When, like, it's just regular dogs, like, he works in the hunting field with, like, a bunch of different dogs, and it's, like, all good. He runs across random dogs, it's all good. Like, let me sniff you, you sniff me. And then, like... Because Tyler was like, he's not a good boy. And I was like, you're out of your mind. Like, that's the bestest boy I've ever fucking owned.
Bandit, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easy. That guy, he's a therapy dog. He does it all.
Bandit's a good boy. Smokey's the one that's...
She's a little crazy, but I like her.
Smokey's a great girl.
Yeah, but you're right. She is, like, I would be more worried about her attacking another dog than Bandit, unless Smokey was in heat, and that's instinctual. We can't do anything about that. Like, you know?
She's a horny bitch.
She is.
I gotta go pee again.
I actually have to pee, too.
It's not like it's up. It's just kind of...
It's there. Waiting for Mariah Carey.
You're right. They did a whole thing with Mariah Carey coming, like... she was like, she thawed herself out or some shit like that. They did like a whole thing. She's like, I'm back.
Oh, yeah, that's how it happens, dude. Every fucking year.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. I just want to get fucked in my ass. Michael Bublé's cool.
I like his Christmas album. And then I think I like it because I got Stockholm Syndrome because my roommate sophomore year at Norwich
Loved him.
loved Christmas music like before it was like Christmas time.
Oh, really?
And I would just, it drove me nuts, but I fucking just...
This is Norwich, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Everybody gets really excited. First off, like, that's your first big break when you're a rook is Christmas. Like, they have like a nice tradition. Like, we have a Christmas dinner and the professors all serve you, like, they do the serving.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So, like, and everybody gets dressed up in their best uniform and you go down there.
You can be like, too much. Too much mashed potatoes.
Fuck you, you gave me an F.
You fucking throw it in their face. You're like, again.
I asked for fucking butter squash.
Butter squash. Where's the stuffing?
They do it for Thanksgiving too, but like you don't have like a reprieve during Thanksgiving. And like the campus just like looks beautiful. And I don't think
Norwich is a beautiful campus.
It is. And at Christmas it looks even better. Like cuz like it's just Vermont in the winter. I do not like Sebago at Christmas. Like there was like hardly any snow and it was windy all the fucking time.
Dude, the St. Joe's campus is kind of pretty in the summer.
It is.
But then like in the winter it's like
miserable.
Dude, it's like a fucking barren wasteland, bro.
It doesn't snow, that's the problem. Like it doesn't snow like I think it's cuz like the water's a heat sink.
Yeah.
So it's a little warmer.
I don't remember having a deficiency of snow though.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just comparing it to like fucking Vermont powder country.
Yeah, right. Where it just snows like.
Yeah, because you have both the East Coast weather system and then the Great Lakes weather system comes over. Right. And that's why they have the better ski resorts than like New Hampshire and Maine. Not even because Maine.
No, they don't. No, they don't. We got the best.
It's just we
got the best.
I loved if the people in Vermont drove me crazy, but the land in Vermont was just so fucking gorgeous.
People pretty granola over there.
Yeah, I mean, like once you get out, like the actual Vermonters, born and raised in Vermont, weren't too hippie. When you get up, I'm like basically Cartman. You goddamn hippies. You get up to fucking goddamn Burlington, and it is quite literally
Church Street.
It's Birkenstock country, dude.
Yeah, I went there once to visit and
what is the Coast Guard doing in Vermont?
Champlain. It connects them to Canada, so he told me that a lot of the times they were trying to prevent drug smuggling.
Yeah, actually, that's what fucking...
Did you fucking hear? First off, did you watch the Republican debate the other night? I didn't watch it myself.
I'm done with politics.
I don't blame you, dude. Like, I feel like we've all gone through that phase where it's like, we got to pay attention to politics. And now we're all like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh, dude.
Dude, there's a guy running who literally, he proposed that we now build a wall along the northern border.
I wouldn't mind that. Fuck you. Dude, what? There was a guy who used to make, do Trump impersonations or make fun of Trump, and he was like, we're going to build a wall north. Fuck you, you snow Mexicans.
Snow Mex. That's
so, like...
Everyone adjacent to us is a Mexican in some way.
No, there's a lot of fucking smuggling that comes from the north, dude.
Well, and that's
especially for prescriptions.
Well, and that's what he was saying, fentanyl, which I'm like, from what I know, that it's much more of a pill thing when they smuggle it from Canada.
Yeah, because they have like cheap access to healthcare.
Yeah, that, and I mean, I've heard. I watched a. You think you showed me that show on Netflix called?
Oh yeah, the ones where I was like, oh, if this is real, this is fucking intense. And you're
dude,
like, this is all staged.
Dude, I thought it was real for the longest time, and it wasn't until there was one episode where I just Googled it, and it was like, yeah, most of this is staged. And I threw my phone across the room. I was like,
oh yeah, I know, because it was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they got all the facts right, but they were just like, it's so disappointing that they're not.
Well, they were like clearly hiring actors to be the drug dealers.
Maybe they just had them reenact the actual shit that they fucking
that wouldn't.
Because like, why would you want your identity out there as a drug dealer?
Well, because they cover their face and they make their voice go like this. And it's like, no one's going to know who I am.
But
and it's
that makes me question, like, is Gangland even real? Are they even interviewing real people for Gangland?
I haven't seen that show.
Oh,
is it like another kind of show like that?
Yeah, they don't follow them around. They interview, like, former gang members and, like, they described the history and inner workings of how the gang works. So like they did the Hells Angels, Crips, Bloods, Italian Mob, blah blah blah.
La Cosa Nostra.
And like, it would be so heartbreaking to find out that it was all staged. Like, we live in.
Should I ruin it? Should I Google if
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, like, I'm
Should
not
I
gonna
Google
watch
if
it.
Santa's real?
I was fucking what? Okay, so a guy proposed in the GOP debate that they were like, let's.
Well, yeah, he was just saying let's build a wall around the northern border, and he literally got booed at the Republican debate. They were like, boo.
Was it the Indian dude?
Yeah, he was the Indian.
Yeah,
dude.
that's probably why. I guarantee you, if Trump said it, they'd all have like fucking orgasms in their pants. They'd be like, "Hell yeah, dude! Fuck those socialists!" But because it's like a fucking brown person, they were like,
Yeah, they're like anything he says,
"It's
boo.
wrong,
He doesn't look.
wrong. It's just wrong."
He doesn't look like me.
Be white, bro. Be white. Like, I guarantee it.
We're coming to you live from the Republican national debate now. The biggest question on everyone's mind is why is there an Indian man on the stage?
I don't even think the political parties like represent anybody in particular anymore. Like, the Democratic Party's trying to be too many things to too many people, and then the Republican Party's just been like hijacked by like fucking insane psychos.
It's someone's described it as like the spectrum is shifted so that it's like moderates are no longer moderates and Republicans are no longer Republicans. It's like Republicans have now shifted so far right, moderates have shifted right, and even like liberals have shifted right. And obviously there's like, well, liberals they want a society with gay people, and it's like, yeah, kinda. I understand what you're saying, but like if you look at who's in charge on the Democratic side and you look at like their history, you can see that it's all just like one big fucking facade.
Oh, so like this is my biggest issue with Biden, dude. Is like
Marriage should be between a man and a woman.
Oh yeah, dude. Like,
and then like 20 years later, he's like, gay.
Because he's just trying to say whatever the fuck he needs to say to be elected, and everybody's like, oh well, like that's not. Yes, it is fucking true. Either he was fundamentally wrong about fucking everything in his fucking life, which makes him too dumb to be the president, or he is a fucking cocksucker who fucking loves to fucking say whatever the. I'm sorry for saying cocksucker.
No, who cares?
He's a fucking cocksucker to fucking the vote. Like, you know, and like we don't. Harry Truman's my president. Harry Truman doesn't give a fuck about what you say. He's going to desegregate the army. He's going to drop the nuke. He doesn't give a shit.
Drop the nuke. That was my grandfather's favorite president because he dropped the nuke.
I don't like. I respect the fact that it must have been a fucking like so hard to make that decision.
See, I don't know if it was that hard for him to make that decision. The way they describe it, like posthumously. I say kind of like loosely, like I mean, I think most people nowadays are like, that's fucked up that we did that.
Nah.
And I think at the time they were like, drop it, let's do it.
Well, let me ask. My question to them would be like, if we dropped a nuke on the Nazis, like, what would your reaction be? Like, you know what I mean? Because essentially the Japanese at that time were fucking the Asian Nazis. They were raping and fucking pillaging their way through fucking China because they were not the right type of Asians.
These people, they're just in Japan and they're like, I hate what our government's doing. What's that in the sky?
I mean, but you could say the same thing about fucking Germany, Schindler's List, like, you know?
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like, dude, it's war. Like, it's not like we were just like, hey, this specific group of people, because they're Japanese, we're dropping this nuke. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I mean, there was nothing racist or discriminatory behind it, but it was definitely like they totally were like, we'd rather be responsible for killing innocent people than going through years and years and years of, which, I mean, listen, the alternative to the bomb was years of invasion and more people,
innocent Americans dying,
more soldiers were going to die. There'd be more monuments places. And I'm sure, I mean, I personally, as someone who didn't live back then, I'm like, well, we probably shouldn't commit the war crime. And I'm like that for a variety of things. I'm like that for currently what's happening right now. You talk to certain people, some people will say it's not a war crime. That's fine. I understand. I mean, I think Tyler's big thing about it, wasn't it that Japan at one point in time was like, yeah, if there's a ground invasion, all civilians are legally obligated to pick up a gun and try to fight back, right?
That's why he's a proponent of the Second Amendment.
What?
So
no,
there was a Japanese admiral who said if we could never invade America because behind every blade of grass would be a rifle.
No, but yeah, what I'm saying is that, like, didn't Japan at some point in time pretty much write it into law that people were considered?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, so that, like, when Tyler, as you know, I'm sure, is very much so a big proponent of that bomb being dropped, and it's his thing isn't, well, the alternative would have been so much worse. His thing is, well, the civilians were considered soldiers just like everyone else, and it's like, dude, stop. To me, that's a dude stop.
I mean, like, it's tough. It's tough because
it's a Sophie's choice.
It really is, because like in Germany, in Japan, people were part of the war effort without actually being part of the army, because they were producing bombs that were killing Americans and bullets. And
But
so
also they were just trying to,
I agree
make
with
money.
you. Like, people got obviously caught up in that were not even fucking remotely associated. But like, it's hard because like the entire country's gripped by fascism, so it would have been a fucking dogfight all the way, and like, people from America are gonna fucking die by the hundreds of thousands. Like, each fucking invasion, each amphibious invasion was a bloodbath.
Yeah, I mean, imagine D-Day, but on the shores of Japan.
Yeah, exactly. And it was happening like every week.
Yeah.
And so,
Trying to invade Peleliu.
you really put me in a hard, because like, I don't want to obviously come out and be like, bomb the civilians, but at the same time, like, why should Joe Blow from fucking Oklahoma be fucking shot down just because like he got drafted?
Yeah, I mean, it's also, yeah, I mean, and my first gut is to say, well, it's his job, but it really isn't his job.
Yeah, he was a fucking machinist before this.
And then so either way, at one point or another, people
Somebody innocent's dying.
Yeah, I still think. I mean, even if you're drafted, though, being a soldier, does that technically make you innocent? Now we're getting into the philosophy.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's a difference between somebody who's a professional soldier and like somebody who is drafted because of fucking a national need. Like,
and that's fair. And that's a fair point.
But you're right. Like, I can see like
only send the enlisted over, not the drafted.
I mean, but we need it.
Then
like,
20 people go over and they get wiped out.
Dude, I mean that. I guess, yeah, you can make the argument he has got a gun and he's part of a unit, but at the same time,
he didn't ask for it.
He didn't exactly, like, and he's there just like every other Japanese guy there out of a sense of patriotism. Like, he doesn't like not necessarily believe in what's going on.
That's a fair point. Not everyone who got drafted was actually excited to get drafted.
No, dude, fucking FDR had to fucking do a bunch of shit to get us involved in that war. We wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, wasn't it
Pearl Harbor?
Pearl Harbor.
And there's a big conspiracy theory with a lot of evidence behind it.
I was just gonna say, are you gonna say that
he knew that it was coming, and that's why the carriers weren't in the bay.
He did know it was coming?
Yeah, he did. Oh yeah.
Ooh, we're getting into something.
In my opinion,
now.
like I don't know if it's been definitively proven. I'm not sure if it was definitively proven, but like in my opinion, he definitely fucking knew what was coming. Either that or fucking.
Well, he had to know that they were gonna do something.
Right, and that's why the carriers weren't there. Because if they had knocked out the carriers, the naval effort would have been fruitless.
Do you think there's a possibility that someone advised him, was like, listen, they're probably going to come for Pearl Harbor, the closest fucking spot.
Right, but he could have, he could have readied defenses harder.
No, I mean, like,
yeah.
There's a possibility that someone could have said that. And so he was just like, let them. And in his motorized scooter.
Oh yeah, because we needed to get into that war. Like, you know what I mean? As much as I hate the government lying.
You did too? What do you mean? For the Depression?
You could also argue that from an economic standpoint. Like, the New Deal actually fucking made the economy worse.
What was
the New Deal was the start of our social programs. And this is not me shitting on social programs, but it did. Like, the economy... People like Tyler like to give FDR all of this fucking credit, when in fact what happened was we went into war... and tanks needed to be made, and bullets needed to be made, and so like fucking the industry, our fucking GDP, of course, climbed, which fucking brought the fucking.
No, I've definitely always thought that World War II is the reason why we got out of the Depression.
Yeah, the
New Deal is that, because when people talk about like when Bernie was running and they were like, these policies aren't crazy, FDR did the same shit. I'm guessing that's the New Deal you're talking about, right?
Yep. And a lot of it was good. Social Security is good, even though it has to be reformed, like, very badly.
Because it's become retirement for people.
It's become retirement for people, and the other thing is that the fucking population now is smaller than the population that our parents' generation is from.
Yeah.
Therefore, like, there's going to be less income coming in, and there's not going to be a Social Security for us.
Yeah. Population's annoying because it's exponential.
this is gonna make me sound callous, but like when people were freaking out about COVID, I was just like, okay, we have an environmental issue. And, you know, I don't want to say it, but like, the fucking big solution is less people.
Well, I mean, I think that like you could apply that to any sickness, any terrorist attack even. You could say, terrorist attack took out 20 people.
That is the planet's way of fucking keeping balance. And when a population grows too big, whether it's deer, people, fucking the plague.
Right, but you can't blame people for being like, I
want to live.
I don't want to be part of that.
I guess, dude.
I don't want to die from the bubonic plague, please.
But like the world...
From a logical standpoint and
I understand.
in a completely objective standpoint, yeah, like it technically would be good for the world to lose a couple 100,000, maybe million 5-10 million people.
And I think the good thing about a disease is like it doesn't discriminate. Like I'm just saying, like the other options
it actually kind of did, because it was attacking the poor population so intensely. The rich people weren't getting it as much. It was mostly the poor, because the poor had to go work and they had to go do this, they had to go do that. More poor people got it. And the framing originally was more African Americans are getting it. And it's like, well, let's slow it down. What is the number one demographic of people in the poor populations? I don't know if it's the number one demographic. What's the biggest? African Americans, minorities. There are more poor minorities than rich minorities.
I would also argue the fact that they were, when you're a poor African American, you're more likely to live in a city.
Yeah.
Which is, so like if you're a poor white person, you're living out in the country.
Most likely, usually.
Yeah. So I mean, like that's a very broad generalization.
There's obvious exceptions. No one's sitting here saying all this like it's an absolute 100%. Like, yeah, there are obvious exceptions. I mean, COVID out in the countryside was essentially non-existent. That's why so many people moved out here.
You know how long it took for fucking the North to get it up in Maine?
How long? What do you mean?
Like before, like they started actually getting cases up.
Oh, it was at least a few months after the first case, right?
It was like, I want to say a few years, like 2 years.
Oh no! A
year at least.
No. When the first case was in New York, it was
no. I meant northern Maine.
Oh, northern Maine. Yeah, that would make kind of sense.
Because like me, Tyler, and Renee walked into a Hannaford's when we went camping, and they were like, "What the fuck do you have on?"
Oh, because you had your mask on.
Yeah.
They were like,
we don't got that here.
They were like, there's no one here. Take it off.
And I was just like in the back of my head, I was like, I'm trying not to give it to anybody here.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But
because I'm from the South, yeah pretty
exactly.
much.
Which they consider us like they like pretty much call us Massachusetts.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Anyone below Bangor is a flatlander, right?
I don't know where their divide is, and I'm sure like they start dividing themselves off. Like the more north you go, you're like Dover, Foxcroft, bro. That's practically Massachusetts.
Tyler's just, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's when Tyler loses his cool, is when someone does that.
Yeah. Actually.
You might want to reconsider fucking off. He gets so fucking mad.
That is exactly how he would say it too. But
you fucking hillbilly.
Dude, I was like, you know, this is the world's way of fucking trying to fucking balance itself.
Oh, and that's a good way to put it, is that it is nature's way of like just releasing something, and it's like, and we evolve and people get the antigens, and
right.
This, if there was no vaccine, then people would just die, and then people who wouldn't die would just kind of walk away.
I actually offended the shit out of one of Renee's roommates one day because like I was like, everything in nature has a purpose, right? Like she's like, what about cancer? And I was like, population control. Like, you know, I'm not saying cancer is a good thing, people. What I'm saying is that it is a way of the world.
It's a complex thing where you kind of analyze what each thing serves in nature.
Right. And she was like getting like wicked emotional. And
she probably had someone she lost to cancer, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, like my aunt had cancer, and like, I guess that's just like me just breezing past the fact that she probably had an emotional. I don't think Renee said she didn't. Like this girl was kind of just a mess. And I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not saying like this to dismiss her feelings, but she was kind of like a mess. Like
this girl was just a mess.
You're
a fucking mess.
And like Renee, the other two roommates were like biologists, and they were like, yeah.
Was it college roommates or home?
Yeah, college.
Oh,
and they were all like, yeah, no, that makes sense, right? Like, yeah, not this girl, dude. Who was like, I wanted to say she was like a social media major, like something where she like makes Instagram.
Yeah,
no, like her assignments, like Renee's assignments would be like fucking figure out like the molecular structure of this this element, right? And hers would be like, make a Instagram where everything is pink themed, right? So like,
gain 10 followers.
in fairness to her, my major's closer to hers than fucking it is to Renee's, I guess. I mean, unless you take out the statistics of, if you add in statistics, I guess political science like moves over a little towards biology and further away from like social media. She might have been a communications major, but I don't know.
No, it's like we talked about last time. Like political science is more of a social major versus like science. Right. And this is where you're coming from. Is you're coming from a perspective of science where it's science doesn't care about your feelings.
It doesn't.
Like, it doesn't. No, I mean nature doesn't. I mean, there's a reason why people have been getting lonely and depressed since people could be created, and no one gives a fuck unless it's another person. Nature itself doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, like,
So
it
I
sounds
understand
like
what
I'm
you're saying.
talking down on communications. I'm not.
No. I'm a comm major. I mean,
I don't even think she was communications because, like, I took a few communications
probably
classes.
like public relations or
something like that. Like, I was just like, I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I don't know what to tell you.
Like, if
You're stupid.
If like, could you imagine like if humans just came out like completely fucking healthy? Like, how many fucking more people there would be? It would be a fucking nightmare.
And of course, it's always. I mean, given modern medicine's probably the main culprit
Yeah.
behind this, the fact that like we are now overpopulated.
Yeah, people are like living to like 100. Fuck that, dude.
Fuck
Put
you.
me out. The moment I can't get out of the bed, like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of have the same view for dogs, and it's gonna sound cruel, but like, once the dog can't fucking move, what are we doing?
That's I agree. There's
like,
there's
put
no
him
debate for
down.
me.
Like, let him die with some dignity.
And that's usually how it is. Like when we put my dog down, it was when he couldn't walk. And
We had to do that for Voodoo. Like, Voodoo was going blind, and she was going fucking. She was like having a hard time getting around anyway. And
So wait, okay. Voodoo is the brown dog, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys put her down?
we had to, yeah. I'm sorry to break that on podcast. bro.
No, I can't. It's fine, but because the last time I was at your house, last time we recorded, she was laying in the bed. I think that's Voodoo, right? Yeah.
She doesn't move like a lot. She might come up and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
And
Sniff you, and then go back.
And you
straight.
guys, in the 3 weeks since then, you guys have put her down.
Yeah.
Oh,
We knew that it was coming. Like, we were just deciding like how long. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
sorry, dude.
I am sad, but before she died, we took a puppy from Bandit's litter because it's not good to get a puppy after a dog dies because they can like sense that type of shit. Like, and then we had to put down Goblin. Goblin was way worse though.
I never met Goblin.
Yeah, he's a good dog. He loves people, but like he was pissing all over himself. And like that is just, and I'm sure like people would probably be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, but like, dude, that is a dog that loved to hunt. Like, he would hunt all day, every day if you'd let him. And when we brought him out hunting this season, 10 minutes. He couldn't make it 10 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? He couldn't do the one thing that he loved.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like an opinion I have of animals. Like, I want that's me. Like, I want my kids to be like, pull the fucking plug once I can't fish. Like, once I can't
fish.
Once I can't fish. I'm serious. Like, if I can't fish or I can't have a conversation with you like this.
You're like, I can walk, I can drive.
Yeah,
I can't
dude.
fish.
Like, Alzheimer's runs in my family. Like, if I get to the point
no,
where I'm
kill me.
Yeah, dude, seriously, like, I fucking do not want to live to like 100.
Voodoo is my favorite of your dogs.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm very sad, but
She was going blind, if that makes like, and I don't think it was going to be a graceful transit. Well, the thing about labs,
it never is graceful, you know, when they reach that age, you know.
We got way more time out of her than another dog. Like, because they're labs, a sense of smell is like their biggest. So like, she was going blind and deaf. Like, you know what I mean? If she didn't have that sense of smell, it probably would have been less graceful because she would have been snapping at everybody.
Right.
It's just sad. Like, I miss her. She was a great dog.
I wish I had the chance to say goodbye to her.
I'm sorry.
But no, don't apologize. You have nothing to apologize for.
Hugged her real tight.
No, I'm happy because I'm happy I got the chance to pet her and to say, sweet talk her the last time I was there because, I kind of just saw her in the corner of the room and I was like, oh, Voodoo, because I love Voodoo.
Yeah.
Because Voodoo's chill and, doesn't get in my grill, and which I don't mind when getting in my grill, but, dogs are just...
She was always it was kind of hard to tell, like, when she was, like, getting so old, she didn't want to move. Like, she couldn't move versus she didn't want to move. Like, you know what I mean? Because she was always kind of a couch potato.
I can read, I just don't want to.
Exactly. Exactly. So, like, she was, like, 16, though. So, like...
Whoa.
That's a fucking big-ass...
She's had a life, dude.
Yeah, and many kids.
That's nearly half of your life.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It might be over half of your life, actually.
Goblin was 11 and he was doing way worse. Way worse.
Wow. Well, here's to Voodoo.
Pour one out for the homies.
Pour one out for Voodoo. I'll pour one out on my rug right now.
Shit.
For those who can't watch, which is all of you, Seamus can attest that I am actually pouring out a little bit of vodka.
He's pouring out one for the homies.
Yeah, a little bit of vodka on my carpet for Voodoo.
Voodoo.
This one's for Voodoo. This all podcast right. Where I'm pretty sure I talked about how much I wipe my ass. This one's for Voodoo.
Voodoo wouldn't care.
Voodoo would have gotten me a bidet.
But,
that's a tough one, dude. Yeah, I mean... That's how it was with my first dog, my Bozy. He was pooping himself, and he was, dreaming while he would sleep right through while he was shitting himself, and then he would have those dreams where he'd kick, and he would literally just like kick the shit into his pads and into the nook and cranny of the floor.
Yeah, that was what Goblin was kind of like. Voodoo is more like. She didn't have as many accidents, but you would be like, hey, like, let's go out. She wouldn't go out, and then like an hour later, I'd come downstairs, and she'd like shit on the rug. Yeah. And then be like, what the fuck, dude?
We talked about this!
No, I would never.
No, I know,
Bandit,
I
would be like, yo, like, I wouldn't like, I'd probably slap him on the ass.
Jackass!
Yeah, like, I'd probably like yell a little more.
You fuck!
I don't even yell at the dogs. I'll just be like, what the fuck, man?
You ruined me!
You shit on my... One of them shit on my foam roller.
Oh, for like your back?
Yeah, and it was the one with the nubs. So it was all in the grooves, dude. And I was just like, that one I freaked out. I didn't freak out on the dogs, but I was just like freaking out loud.
What's that smell?
No, dude. Luckily I like looked down and I was like, ugh.
Rolling.
With her, it was just sad. I was like, it's all right, girl.
That's heartbreaking, dude. I'm sorry about that.
But she was a good dog. Good dog.
No, you had many good years with her.
She's up in heaven, probably bird hunting or sleeping on God's couch.
The Rainbow Road, sleeping on God's couch. Rainbow Road, right? As they say.
Yeah.
You heard about that, right?
No. I'm just gonna agree.
They're just trying to be nice. They're like, I heard of that, bro. No, but the Rainbow Road, they say, is where all our pets go after they die, and they wait for us for when we cross over. Yeah. So I think
Bandit's gonna be waiting for me.
We both probably got a few. Oh, that's all. Because I always talk about the spiritual side of things is when you die, it's your younger self that goes up, or
because you're so naive and innocent.
Well, I meant like I thought it was more of a health thing. Like
yeah, so you're not like fucking 100. Like I made it to heaven, but I still can't pee.
It's like one of the scary movies where the disabled guy he dies and he goes to heaven. He's like, wait, no, I'm still handicapped.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like, I hope she's younger, but like, I don't know. I still liked her as an older dog.
Older dogs are great.
They are. I think there's a lot of love that senior dogs give out. I think that most people are like, let me get a puppy. And I think a puppy is good if you have, like, young kids.
Yeah, if you have young kids, if you're really ready to commit to something like that. Yeah.
Because, like, you can mold the puppy, like, to be like, these are kids. They're going to be fucking rambunctious and probably, like, pulling on your ear. Right. And, like, you got to teach the kids not to do that. But, like, it's going to happen. Like, you know what I mean? Little kids are stupid. I love little kids, but they're dumb.
And it's like, I was told I can't do this, but what if I just try it and see what happens? I've been there 100 times.
And so, like, it's much better if it's a puppy than like I guess a good senior dog that's, like, chill as shit.
Yeah, a dog that's got, a thick skin. Yeah. And then, like, there's the other side where it's like a puppy grows up with the family, so they just learn to live in that household versus, like, trying to get a dog to adjust to your house. Yeah.
But, like, I definitely think that, like, don't be afraid to adopt an older dog.
No. No, I've been thinking about that because I've been thinking about when I get my own place. Because I might be taking our kitten because it was supposed to be my mom's cat that she got to try and help cope with my dad dying. And then I guess it doesn't sleep well with the other cat because he's always trying to fucking fight my other cat because he's a
Cats are weird, dude.
Well, yeah, and he's a shit. My older cat is very just chill, laid back, doesn't do shit, just hangs out. And then this one's just an absolute psycho. So he's been sleeping in my room since we got him, and because of that, like I've become like the person. And so I don't know if I'll be taking. I'm sure there's the side of he'll be alone without the other pets, and then there's the side of he won't have me. So I don't know. I'll have to figure that out with my mom. But I've been thinking about if I'll get a senior dog or if I'll get a.
You can always have one of my puppies.
Yeah, puppies, dude.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
I can barely take care of myself. Like,
see, so that's why I got Bandit. I wasn't really taking care of myself, and then Bandit. I say Katahdin was a turning point, but Bandit was one of the bigger turning points. Like, you're almost forced to start taking care of yourself because you have to take care of.
Right, that's a good point.
Like, Bandit would wake me up even though I didn't want to be up, and he'd be like, I need to go out now.
Right.
Or I'm going to shit all over the place. And so, like, there was like, real immediate consequences to not getting up on time.
Right. That makes sense.
And so, yeah. And I don't know, just the puppy loves you like nobody else in this world's going to love you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
Maybe a little kid, like, because little kids don't understand you're a
fuck up, little keep fucking.
That's like such a responsibility. I'm not even. But the dog, I was ready for that type of responsibility, I guess.
My mom told me that a puppy's worse than a kid.
Some ways, yes. Some ways, yes. Like, because like the kid doesn't run that fast. When Bandit took off, Bandit took the fuck off.
Right.
And like,
wait, come back.
Bandit ate an entire tub of Vaseline.
Oh, yeah.
And shit it out on the fucking St. Joe's parking lot. I guess
babies do that too, though. Babies, like, that's why they have, because they get into, like, chemicals, and they're like dish detergent.
Tide Pods.
And just guggling the fucking, they're like, Mama, look what I did. And you're like, not only do I have to take you to the doctor, but I have to buy a whole new thing of Dawn.
That's your biggest concern.
That's my biggest concern.
My fucking dish soap. I don't care if you're having a seizure.
You know how much that cost? It cost me $3.75. And the baby's just like not breathing.
I think it's like one of those things that like, you know, it's going to be difficult, but like, it's just so rewarding. Like when Bandit like got a new trick, or like when like I was finally like, oh, this motherfucker's housebroken. Yes. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like
all that work pays off.
And you get to watch it. Like, you know what I mean? Like he like wooed Renee, and I was like super fucking impressed with him. Like,
attaboy.
Attaboy. Attaboy. At worst, I was like, I'm going to pick up some chicks with this guy. Like, you know, I didn't realize, I knew we were going to be like tight, but I didn't realize we were going to be like that tight. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, like, you're his person. I mean, when he was a puppy, when he was a puppy, you guys,
everything but class we did together.
Yeah. Well, the cross trips.
Yeah. Bobby.
I remember I watched him once, and I wasn't a stern dog watcher, because I'm always just like.
That's why Renee is turning into his person.
Turning into what?
Turning into Bandit's person.
Oh, why? Because she's like very nice to him.
I don't want to say nice, but like she like doles out treats. Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And she's the softest hand in the room. Like dogs know how to get what they want. They're master manipulators.
Yeah.
And Bandit knows like this guy's not gonna fucking put up with my bullshit. Like he can stand whining at the door. Like if I let him out within the hour and he stands at the door and whines the entire time, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro.
I just let you out, dude.
Yeah, like you're not calling. I don't know who the fuck you think you are here.
I don't know who the fuck.
Yeah, because like dogs will call their shots if you let them.
Who do you know here?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you were saying to me, is because he was whining at my door when I was watching him at my dorm, and I was like, well, he must want to go real bad. And then like I felt so bad for the dog, and then you guys were like, even Tyler was like, you can't let him run the whole show.
Yeah, no, Tyler's way more in my dad's camp, where he's like, dogs are tools. I mean, to a certain extent, I agree with him. Like dogs with a purpose, like do way better than dogs without a purpose. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, behaviorally, yes, 100%, because they're not like. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've always treated my animals like they're like members of the family. So it's like,
do you?
Well, no, I'm not saying that to be like. I'm just saying that to be like. This definitely like I can definitely notice that where it's like I'm with the perspective where it's like, well, Bandit must want to leave the dorm, and then even Tyler's like, don't do that.
Yeah,
it's just like,
There is a certain point, like if he hadn't been out for a while and he's winding up the door, I'm like, oh, he has gotta go out. But like, especially like when Smokey's in, he'll stand at the fucking door and whine like an emo bitch who just fucking got his heart broken. And we'll be like, but I love her, and I was like, I don't give a fuck.
like, bro, you're just horny. Go fucking.
Yeah, that's what I say to him. I'll like give him like a little bonk on the head like that, and I'll be like, go to horny jail.
Go to horny jail. It's like, go beat off. You'll feel better.
That's essentially
he's just
like,
looking at you.
Like, you don't get it, bro. She's the love of my life.
I love her, bro.
Paramore's playing. You are the only exception.
All I wanted was you.
I'm just sitting there like the stern father, like
Taylor Swift's dad. Like, no one's gonna fuck my daughter, and then she gets fucked by everyone. Not.
Fuck you, Taylor.
Talking about Taylor Swift. Fucking so sick and tired of
I am sick and tired of hearing about Taylor Swift. I don't think she's a bad artist by any means. She's not my ish. I think, you know what I mean? Power to her for being so popular. But, dude, the fucking fans are fucking insane.
They gotta all be young, right?
No, dude, a bunch of chicks we went to college with are fucking all over.
Still?
Still. A fucking chick who was like a captain in the cavalry is fucking... that I went to Norwich with is fucking a huge Taylor Swift fan. Like
Captain of the Cavalry, she's like,
Air Cav, I think. Fucking.
Well, like people go to the movies for that, I guess, because she made that movie of the tour, and people are like
freaking out.
They're like dancing in a circle. Like
it's creepy. Like it looks like cult footage.
Like it's literally like a clip from Midsummer.
Exactly, dude. That was my thought. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Who are they gonna sacrifice in this movie?
Right, they're gonna pound someone's face in with a hammer, like in that fucking movie.
They lose, and I hate the fact that the NFL like broadcast, like anytime her boyfriend is playing, it's like all about her. Like,
there's always a camera on her.
Could you? If that happened in hockey, I would probably break my TV. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck about Taylor, dude. What the fuck was Fleury's stats for the year?
They were kind of doing that for Carrie Underwood when Mike Fisher was in the league.
Really?
Like anytime Mike Fisher would touch the puck, they'd cut to her. Like,
I would lose
during the
show.
replay.
I would lose the show. I would lose the
Dude,
show.
Mike Fisher dead ass was like, I want to trade because I want to be with Carrie Underwood all the time.
That's kind of sweet.
It's sweet, but I'm like, I always go to the place of like being the Ottawa GM and being like, we're this fucking close.
To those yeah, that's right.
We're this fucking close. You guys can't. No, okay. And then I'm not going to go ahead and say that Mike Fisher being traded is the reason why Ottawa has never had any success in the past decade, but... there really is no but, because I'm pretty sure most people would say no.
They're doing a 30 for 30 on the kid that they drafted in the first round that was a bust.
Yeah, dude. What's his name? Do you remember?
Alex something, I want to say. It starts with like a P.
The last name, it's like something that I've like heard before.
Like he was supposed to... He had like a decent few seasons, and then he just like dropped hard, like what you would expect out of goalies.
Is it fucked up that I really wish that would happen to Connor Bedard?
I think it would be funny as hell.
That's why I want it to happen.
I don't want to see him lose a career, but like at the same time, I'm with you. It would be kind of funny. Like we would be telling that joke. That joke would be like fucking built into every sports fucking.
Dude, the level of hype that went into this kid being in the league. I mean, he's being great. He's been overall the best rookie so far. I say that as a Coyotes fan who's got Logan Cooley on the team, but watching someone get hyped up so much and watching, quite frankly, a fan base so undeserving like the Chicago Blackhawks fan base, like imploding upon watching his implosion, the thought of that is so fucking funny.
It would be justice, too.
It would be justice, 100%. I mean, we talked about this a little bit last time where it's like, to what extent do you get punished for covering up something that happened 20 years ago now? And it's like, well, if the same fucking people are in charge, then yeah, maybe they should get fucking written up for it and they should lose this. I mean, like Shane Pinto got banned 41 games for betting on I guess it wasn't even a hockey game.
I see huge issues in all of the sports future with like the fucking ease of gambling.
I am so fucking done with sports gambling.
Are you being like...
I am fucking serious. I am serious.
I swear to God, like more shit like that will happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like where...
Dude, it's everywhere.
You're going to find more players. Like, that's what happened with the fucking 1919 Chicago fucking White Sox. Yeah. Like, I'm not even...
They called them the Black Sox.
We had a discussion about this, like, where I was like, look at this. Like, he's got the fucking Sports King logo on his helmet, but he's being banned for fucking gambling.
Well, and that in my opinion, is, like, ultimately... like the league's fault, like for allowing that.
He still needed to be suspended.
I think, yeah. I mean, especially if he was gambling on hockey, he definitely needs to be suspended. If he's gambling on something else, then who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
in my opinion,
you can't gamble on anything if you're in college sports.
Really?
Maybe horse racing. Maybe horse racing.
Oh, they're gonna say horseshoeing, and I was like, okay.
Like you can't. Me and Tyler take a huge lecture on like all the shit we can't gamble on.
Fuck.
We couldn't even make NCAA brackets, like, for money.
Are you shitting me?
No,
Madness?
yeah, dude.
Like,
and that's such a like. I at St. Joe's know what the fuck's going on with the fucking Notre Dame fucking point guard.
Oh, is it all about sabotage?
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's about sabotage, like insider fucking views and like all that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have an unfair advantage. It's fucking bullshit. Like, nobody in D3 is like gonna fucking have a say on the outcome. Like, maybe your brother.
And
maybe your brother plays D1 and you play D3.
And what is the market for D3 gambling? You know what I mean? Like, is there a market where like
there's gotta be.
So like maybe they're like, oh, I don't want you gambling on other. I don't fucking know. The GNAC finals or some shit.
Yeah, dude, people are gambling on like fucking weird ass sports overseas that aren't like major sports. So I imagine that somewhere, somehow, there's D3 gambling.
People gamble on everything.
They do, and it's kind of, dude, it's just like I watch John Oliver. John Oliver is my liberal news source because like he actually does the research. Like, you know what I mean?
I've thought about watching it. It's one of those things where I feel like he's better in those 10-minute clips that get released to YouTube, and then after that, it's kind of like.
I'm gonna say this: he's not that funny without the laugh track. But I don't really come in there for the funny. I'm like, I want to hear what the fuck's going on from a researched point of view. Like,
yeah, I always feel so childish when I'm watching someone and I realize they don't have a laugh track, and it's like it's not as funny without a laugh track.
It isn't.
And then you start thinking to yourself, and you're like,
was he ever funny?
Well, not only that, but you're like, am I one of those people that I make fun of where it's like, oh, you fucking need a laugh track to tell you when to laugh during a sitcom?
Yeah.
And then I'm like. I'm watching Conan O'Brien the other night, like, because he does his Clueless Gamer shit, and I'm like, there's something missing, and it's not as funny. And I'm like, the laugh track. And I'm like, oh my gosh, am I a fucking idiot? And it's like that Homer Simpson picture where it's like, am I disabled?
Yeah, dude. He does. I think that if you go in there and you're like, he is funny, dude. But like, if you go in there,
I do like some of his stuff. It's pretty funny.
If you go in there and you're like, I just want to laugh, like.
Then you're completely missing the point of the show.
Right.
And if you just want to laugh, then...
To be honest, I think that all news should be delivered by comedians now. Like with a
As long as it's not Trevor Noah.
Why? You don't like Trevor?
I don't like Trevor Noah.
I thought he was all right.
I didn't know if you liked him. I don't like his weird way of talking and his weird way of looking around. His
pacing was weird.
He looks like Bruno Mars. Yeah, and the big problem I have, and
I don't like Jon Stewart though.
Yeah, I don't like Jon Stewart either. I don't like Tommy Lahren. I don't like anything about Tommy Lahren. I don't like...
Well, I thought it was Tommy Lauren.
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
Was she supposed to be funny? Did I miss that?
No, she wasn't. She was just supposed to be the hard-hitting, conservative, blonde who looks like every other Fox News reporter, but actually is good-looking, even though the fact that she is who she is makes her not good-looking. It's like...
I don't care. I'd give it a try.
It's one of those things where just some people, when I know who they are, it's like, you're not attractive to me anymore. Like Kim Kardashian.
I'd hate fuck the shit out of you.
I did have that thought a long time ago, but now I'm like completely on the other side.
Oh, it's a one-night stand. You don't have to be fucking married to the person.
Oh, see, to me, it's like I don't even want to provide an inkling of good feeling to you because I hate you so much. That's my thing. But
I mean, the sex can be very selfish in this case. Like, I don't have to worry about getting her off.
But then you sit there and you're like, I'm taking pleasure from her. And it's like, ugh. That's just me, though. And I'm also...
there are evil... Like, Meghan Markle. I do not like Meghan Markle. But, like, I would hate fuck the shit out of her.
See, Meghan Markle is the love of my life, and she's also not, because I feel like Meghan Markle is one of those people that...
She loves drama.
There are some, and that's an element of it. She's one of those people that it's like, there are some, like, genuinely, I feel this way. There are some pictures of her that I'm like, That is one of the most
beautiful women.
Beautiful creatures I've ever seen in my. And then there are some pictures where it's like okay. And so I mean, obviously people take bad pictures and people take good pictures. My problem with her primarily, it's like what you said. It's like she was never. I mean, my mom's watching Suits right now. She's not very into it, but she's putting it on every now and then. And like I'll watch it a little bit when I eat, and it's like she's never been that good of an actor, like really ever.
The reason I liked her in that was she was sexy as shit. And
well, yeah.
The other two is why I was there. Ross and fucking.
What? Ross and Rachel?
Yeah, no, Ross
Jennifer
and
Aniston?
I can't think of his name, dude. Harvey. Ross and Harvey like were pretty funny together.
Yeah, I don't even know who they are, to be honest.
That's like the head lawyer guy and the fucking not head lawyer guy.
The guy who talks like this and his face is like,
yeah, he was a weird fucking looking, but I don't know.
He's been around forever, that guy. But yeah, I know there's like one scene in Suits where it's like, well, and I have seen they talk about how she's had one of the hottest cable sex scenes.
She did, yeah.
In the book room, I've seen it. I'm guilty, but I remember there was one. They start from the beginning where it's like they have the shots of panning up her body as she's up on a ladder looking at all the stuff. So they definitely hook, line, and sinker that. They make her look very beautiful. The problem is, she's really got no talent other than being beautiful. And to further cement this, she was doing Hallmark movies before she met.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's like the bottom of the barrel for fucking acting.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. It's one of those things where if you're not good at acting, just do Hallmark movies because
be good looking.
Because you're gonna get paid. Yeah. You're gonna get paid.
So I've actually had a discussion with Tyler that the floor of like talent for acting and sports, like, and he like reamed me out. He's like, if Matt was here, and I was like, I think Matt would agree if he was here.
But what?
I was like, anybody can like get into acting. Anybody can be a professional actor in the sense like
it's partially true, yes.
If you look good and you just show up, like you can't tell me Vin Diesel is a great fucking actor.
Well, I mean, I think when he was young, he was trying.
And then he was just like, fuck it, family.
Yes, 100%. And I mean, you look at people like Gal Gadot.
Right.
You know, and even then, I think that like there were times where she was beautiful, and now she's kind of mid to me now. But she has zero talent.
Does she?
In my opinion, she has zero talent.
I've only seen her in Wonder Woman, and she wasn't like terrible in it.
And in my opinion, dude, I watch Wonder Woman, and I'm like, I watch Wonder Woman 2. It's just.
I've only seen it once, though.
Right. I mean, she's such a, in my opinion, just a fucking bad actor. And she is doing this, she's doing that, she's doing this, she's doing. I mean, Dwayne Johnson.
Doing better than he was.
Yeah, but even then, he doesn't take roles that are challenging.
No, neither does Mark Wahlberg.
Neither does Mark Wahlberg.
The best thing Mark Wahlberg ever was in was when he played the cop in The Departed. Because he was literally just playing Mark Wahlberg as a cop.
He's like, you saying we're cunts? You think we're cunts?
You come down here with your fucking curtain lace fucking Irish ass and you want to fucking tell me how to run my precinct? Fuck you.
What? Huh? What are you doing?
But the thing is like, so I was like, I think it's way harder to get paid to do a sport. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To get paid to do a sport, you literally have to be at the top 1% of the fucking game. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's just, I was like, dude, Vin Diesel has a career and he shows up and he just, family. I was like, you literally play a sport with me where you have to show up every day at 6 a.m. in the fucking snow, the rain, the sleet, and fucking put on. I was like, it just doesn't make, like, I think that there's an echelon, like when you get to Daniel Day-Lewis and Christian Bale, where you're like fucking losing 40 pounds to do a role, or you're fucking like trying to, like, you know what I mean? There's a fucking echelon of acting that comes into sports like difficulty. Like,
yeah, you know? I mean, there's a variety of factors. Okay, and this is a good idea, or a good topic, I should say. With sports, right? To make I have a lot of thoughts right now.
Sorry.
No. Don't ever apologize for that. So, when it comes down to sports, right? How the fuck am I going to say this? Because it's like I have it so clearly in my head. When you're very talented with a sport, it's okay.
There's born talent in sports.
Well, there's born talent in acting. There are some actors that are just like Robert Pattinson's a natural.
Yeah,
the dude doesn't even method. The dude's like, he was the one that was like, if you most people who say they're method actors are just assholes on set.
I can imagine.
Like Joaquin Phoenix was a prick to everyone on set, and they were like, oh, he's method acting. And Jared Leto was a prick to everyone on Suicide Squad.
But Jared Leto's not good.
Jared Leto, I disagree. I think Jared Leto's actually a really good actor. It's just that he's a pedophile, and
Okay.
he's known around Hollywood for like
Really?
16-year-olds are pretty much his
I
like
didn't know
16, and yeah, there's a bunch of people have come forward and saying this, but there's no proof, so they can't do this, blah blah blah. The thing about
I did not like Jared Leto. I'm gonna be honest. He was.
No, and I used to actually like him because I thought he had a personality, but then he did like that one thing where it's like he pretended to have a cult and he walked around with a robe and like with his arms raised and all this shit, and I was like, this is fucking lame, dude. And I liked 30 Seconds to Mars as a band.
I love 30 Seconds to Mars, dude. Excellent band.
And he's a great singer.
Excellent singer. I disagree. I don't know. Like,
and I liked
I've only seen him in Blade Runner.
And I liked his
and
Joker.
Suicides. You liked his Joker?
I didn't like. Well.
Is that what you said? Sorry.
No, that's what I said. I was saying it quietly so that no one could hear me. No, I liked his Joker. I think he was promised a different role. I don't even like to me, it's like because I just don't like who he is as a person. It's like, fuck this fucking ass. Who cares? But back when it came out, I felt bad because he was promised a role like Joaquin's Joker, and then he never got it because the studio, quite frankly, chopped it up and ruined it. And he was one of the many casualties of that. But then he came back for Zack Snyder's Justice League in the Doomsday scene, and that was really fucking good. But in my opinion, but it's something. I just thinking about sports and acting. So like, I would say they're almost very identical in the sense that, I mean, there's a standard normal curve to pretty much everything. So maybe it's not that as much of a phenomenon as I think it is, but it's like,
well, yeah, model.
There are more mid actors in mid athletes than there are superstars, right?
Right.
The only problem is mid actors can make way more money
Than a mid athlete.
than a superstar actor.
Really?
Yes, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, probably pulls in more money than Daniel Day-Lewis.
All those Fast and I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is known for being incredibly talented. Is he as wealthy as Dwayne Johnson? No. Is he as wealthy as Vin Diesel? No. None of the like in my opinion, Dwayne Johnson's a mid actor. Same with Vin Diesel. They're an action star, kind of like Jason Statham. Jason Statham, in my opinion, actually knows how to fight, though. So
yeah.
The thing is with athletes is that like, if you're a mid athlete, there's just as many of you as there are mid actors, but you're usually fighting for a spot on a roster. I mean, given mid actors probably are too, but even then, not every mid actor, because
there's more movies than there are hockey teams or like football teams.
Yes, that's also very true. There's more cast spots than there are roster spots. But it's a lot easier to make it big as a shitty actor than it is to make it big as a shitty athlete.
Right.
100%. Do I think it's harder to be a superstar actor over a superstar athlete? Not necessarily. I
agree with you there.
I think superstar athletes, there's an element of natural born ability. Like, it's so hard to find an incredible musician, an incredible actor, an incredible athlete without having someone in their documentary be like, yeah, since he was 2, he could fucking juggle, some shit like that.
Dennis Rodman.
Okay, well, let's talk about Dennis Rodman.
Honestly, I know he's fucking batshit crazy, but Dennis Rodman's like probably one of my favorite athletes.
Because he's fucking crazy, right?
Well, a little bit, but like he's also like a hick, which I think is hilarious. Like he buys bass boats and shit. Like
he's like
everybody else in the
he's
NBA,
a fisher.
Like yeah, dude, like fucking Michael Jordan's rolling around in Ferraris. Scotty's like fucking Madonna. Scotty's Dennis Rodman when he was younger. He's like, I just want to fish, bro. I'm gonna go hunting. I'm gonna go fishing.
Remember when he married himself?
Yes, dude. I never said the man wasn't batshit crazy.
I know. But you relate a lot to him.
I do. It's not even that. Like, he fucking didn't get drafted until he was 26.
Really?
Yes, because he hit a growth spurt while he was a janitor at a fucking airport. And once he hit the growth spurt, he went out and he played basketball every day in Dallas.
Did he get drafted, or was he just signed as a free agent?
Yeah, we're getting there. Then he goes to a community college. Not even like a regular college, like almost a community college or like some small college. and he becomes one of the greatest rebounders ever in the NBA. And he does it purely out of fucking heart, like hustle and heart, like, you know what I mean? Diving into the crowd to get the ball, doing whatever it takes. Like,
He was a hard worker.
he's a hard worker. He's a lunch pail type of guy, and I respect it.
Lunch pail, I like that. So that sounds like someone that like.
But that's an exception. Like we said this before, like an exception to the rule. Like normally you're right. Like Michael Jordan, like born talented.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even say born talented, but he had a talent that he fucking crafted with his work.
But can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
Is Dennis Rodman a superstar?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hear any.
Okay.
I mean, like I don't know. You'd have to look up his all-star appearances, but whatever team he was playing for, it was a contender for the trophy.
And of course, where is the line drawn between a superstar and someone's
right.
mid, right?
Do you have to be an all-star every year to be a superstar? Like, what if you're
Right.
playing on if you're playing on the Warriors where there's like 5 guys who are clear superstars, like you might
Right.
get left off.
Right, and that's true. So I mean, the question, that's my question is ultimately like, is he more known for his ability? I mean, he may have been an incredible rebounder.
Oh, he couldn't shoot. I don't think. I don't know if he could dunk. I watched his fucking rebounding highlights. They were fucking phenomenal.
Wow.
Like,
So I mean, that's something to be said, right? Where it's like, I mean, there is hard. I mean, like, I don't know if I could say. I'm trying to think, like Jesse Plemons. I don't think Jesse. I mean, given Jesse Plemons kind of plays the same character in every show and movie, but like, he's just kind of the awkward guy. But like, I think of De Niro as much as he's kind of a weirdo, and I think of these guys. It's like how much can you attribute to their acting classes and their mentors versus just what they were born with. I mean, some people,
their personality,
some
the way
people
they
can,
talk.
some people can just come out and envision, and just kind of and just make believe, which is essentially what acting is you just make fucking believe, and some people are great at it.
Spencer Tracy never fucking prepped for a role.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like considered one of the better actors of like the 40s, 50s, 30s, maybe. I forget what his era was.
Whatever decade, yeah.
And he would literally just show up like and just do the role. And like somebody was like, is it hard being an actor? And he's like, fuck no. He's like, I just show up and I like you said, I pretend, like, you know what I mean? And it comes to him naturally. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to do any work. Like, I watched him in Freddie Prinze. I forget what his name is.
Freddie Prinze Jr.? Oh, to the original, right? Sorry.
No. Not Freddie Prinze, dude. Sorry. He has like one of those weird fucking 30s, 40s names, and he was like a big child star back then. And he was in this movie called Captain's Courageous, which is based on Rudyard Kipling's book, Captain Courageous. And him and Spencer Tracy had a scene together. They were fucking lovely, beautiful. They were lovely. They were excellent together. And, I'm getting, but like when you get to Daniel Day-Lewis territory, Christian Bale territory, where you've got like this actual method acting, not I'm showing up on set to be an asshole. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's more Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't think Christian Bale method acts.
You do? Really?
Well, he was the one that freaked out on the set.
Yeah, Terminator.
Was that Terminator?
Yeah.
And such a fucking, like a movie that like most people don't think of Christian Bale, and that's the one where he's like, don't fucking look at the camera.
Well, dude,
I gotta do fucking work.
What about The Mechanic, dude? Like,
I liked The Mechanic.
The Mechanic, he looked...
Did you see it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. That was one of my first movies outside of the Batman series that I was like, oh, that's Christian Bale. And then I was like, that's Christian Bale? That's Christian Bale.
That's such an underrated movie in my opinion.
is.
Because that movie, it's like, it didn't get it didn't get that well reviewed by anyone, but like...
Why?
I'm guessing for a variety of reasons. People may have thought it was pretty... I just look at the Metascore and I'm like, 56, like out of 100? What the fuck?
Yeah, did we watch the same movie?
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, given I didn't think it was like, this is phenomenal, but I was like, this is like, the acting's great, the dynamic's great, the twist is great, and watching it all unfold, in my opinion, it wasn't predictable, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, I was 14, too, so, like, my schema of, like, how movie plots go wasn't as well developed, but still, like, it's one of those movies that I look back and I'm like, oh, man, that was and the fact that he lost all of that weight to fucking, you know what I mean?
And then
put it back on for Batman.
Exactly, dude. That's the wildest part. Is that
So that's not method. Like I would consider that a little bit method.
so method.
You live like your character.
Yeah, by most people's definitions, it's like it's like Johnny Depp is kind of method. He's
also a great actor.
Yes, he is a great actor.
Have you watched Blow, dude? It took me literally like an hour into the film to be like, that's Johnny Depp, dude.
I turned off Blow.
Blow was pretty deep.
They turned off Blow.
He was honestly one of his best roles. I thought he does a way better fucking Boston Irish guy than fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. Like
I would probably be inclined to agree with that, considering Leo was the worst part of The Departed.
Oh my god, he was terrible. Terrible.
It was like, what are you gonna do, Costello? What are we gonna do? You gonna do something? And
I'm gonna blow my brains out.
There's a rat.
I actually didn't like Jack Nicholson too. Like I didn't dislike him.
I agree. The Departed, low-key, might be Scorsese's most overrated movie.
Also didn't like Gangs of New York.
I haven't seen Gangs of New York. Was that a Scorsese movie?
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis really carries that movie through. And again, Leo did not do. And like, there's like movies that Leo deserved before the Oscar.
Right.
That he deserved an Oscar. He was really good in it.
Gilbert Grape.
But like, there are movies where like people are like, he deserved an Oscar for Gangs of New York. The fuck he did, dude. The fuck he did. I love Cameron Diaz. Great woman. I mean, maybe
great woman.
Beautiful.
She's a good woman.
She's a pretty decent actress. She's not like she's mid-tier probably.
She peaked.
But like terrible. They were both terrible in
Fake
it.
stoner, by the way. Cameron Diaz.
Good. She used to buy weed off of Snoop Dogg
Yes.
in high school.
Yep.
But like they were awful in Gangs of New York. Leonardo DiCaprio should never play an Irishman. That's my fucking takeaway from both of those movies.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think Scorsese really gets the Irish. I'm being serious. Gangs of New York, terrible.
I don't know. Mick Bastards, I don't know.
Everybody loved The Departed. I was like.
So The Departed, in my opinion, it's a complex movie, right? I mean, Matt Damon's character's good. All the characters, I think, are good.
Yeah.
The performances are kind of mid-tier. I mean, I was literally in... So The Departed's actually a remake of a Hong Kong movie.
Right.
And we watched the Hong Kong movie in my film class my senior year of high school. Was it good? I didn't like it at all. Really? I mean, it's one of those things, I don't know. I don't like cheesiness. I like very raw, grounded stuff. And like, so when Martin Sheen's character dies in The Departed, in the Hong Kong movie, Infernal Affairs, it's like accented by... Like when he dies and the character finds him, it's like there's a big flash to white and it's got like all the, when they met and them being, it's like all the, and it's got the
anime type.
Like the music's, yes, dude, that's a fucking great way to put it. It's anime-esque, dude. It's very fucking anime-esque.
Naruto, dude, that swing gets more fucking screen time than some of the fucking actual characters of the show.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Naruto.
I know you don't, but people who watch anime will get that. Like Hentai, that's fucking... Hanade got less fucking screen time than the goddamn swing that Naruto used to fucking sit on when he brooded as a child. Because they would flash back to that.
I haven't brooded in years. Yeah, so it was very anime-esque, very corny, and like my entire class was like, this is so good. And I was like, this is fucking lame as shit. And we watched the same scene in The Departed, and they were literally like, how did this win awards? How did this movie... And I was like, dude, this fucking movie's... It's like... And I will say, it's a good movie. But it's just kind of bogged down by, I think, people who are overacting.
I thought that Black Mass was way better.
Oh, dude, I didn't like Black Mass.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it felt very rushed to me. And I guess the original cut of the movie was 3+ hours.
Holy shit.
And that's what Scott Cooper, the director, wanted it to be, was a 3+ hour crime epic where it pretty much broke down every moment of the book, which was... the book was really good. And then the movie was just... very brief and very kind of like this and that. And they painted
I like Johnny Depp though in it. And
Depp was fantastic.
And so was Cumberbatch was good as
I will say Cumberbatch gets a lot of shit for his Boston accent. And I don't know.
It wasn't the worst.
I forget who it was. It was someone on YouTube that was like, yeah, you remember Cumberbatch's bad Boston accent. But like Joel Edgerton was good. Depp was good. The only problem was that like stuff in the movie didn't happen in the book and didn't happen in real life. Like, Bulger never intimidated John Connolly's wife. He never did anything like that. He was actually, he wanted to, it was just, they really spent a lot of time trying to get him to be as movie-esque as possible.
See, this is my problem sometimes with Hollywood, is that they take like historical events that were already fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, what if we added like some unnecessary drama? Or what if we cut this? Like, stop, bro. Like, that's why I don't like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is really just a recut of like a bunch of historical events that this guy threw together in one world. And when you read the actual historical events, they're far more fascinating. The only thing that they're missing is dragons. And who the fuck needs dragons?
And incest.
Exactly.
Actually, the incest probably may have happened.
Probably did happen. Definitely happened, especially when we're talking about Spain. And England. England is fucking, have you seen the royals? That is a poster child of fucking incest and why it's wrong, you inbred fucks.
And that's why everyone likes Meghan Markle more than any other female ever born in the royal family.
Okay, my only issue with Meghan Markle is she was like, oh, these people are racist. Like, no shit! Like, are you really that stupid?
Well, not only that, but then she was like, I can't act anymore because I'm not talented, and because it's going to be kind of weird if I'm married to a prince and I'm like kissing other men in a role, unless it's one of those things. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what happens. I'm just saying that for most women in Hollywood, they end up being the love interest. It's very rare that they're just the sole character, which, hey, who knows? I mean, the Golshifta Farahani from Extraction is one of the most incredible creatures I've ever seen in my life, and she's not a love interest in that movie at all. Either way, she just kind of was like, so I'm just going to make a bunch of documentaries about the royal family. I'm going to do as many interviews. Like, the Oprah interview was perfectly fine. You did the interview, you said they're fucked up, and everyone was like, whoa, they're fucked up. And then she was like, now
nobody needed to tell the Irish.
Now let's go do Now let's go do an 8-part documentary on Netflix where I say the same shit, but I do it. And mind you, and I hate to say it, she has like this voice when she talks that it just sounds like acting. It's like,
no,
and then this and that, and this and that. And it's like, dude, you're not talking like a normal human being. You're talking like you're acting.
So,
which you're not good at.
She was like, these people are, dude, Matt.
Yes.
If I was to hook up with one of the royal daughters or whatever, like say they were the same age, they wouldn't accept me into that family.
No.
Because I'm Irish.
Right.
They would be like, who the fuck is this inbred, bog stomping, fucking Connie?
Potato eating. Yeah.
Like, so like for her to get there and just be like, oh my God, they're so racist. Like, no shit, Sherlock. No fucking shit. You think that the people that colonized Ireland, Jamaica, fucking most of Africa, the Middle East, they're racist? Oh my God. Pikachu face, like Pikachu. Like, come on, dude. You really can't be that dumb. You cannot be that dumb.
To like not have any part of you that's like, I expect this to happen.
Yeah, I'm expecting, like, you're walking into the lion's den, like,
and like one
expect lions.
And like one of the most like what's it called, monochromatic, just like blatantly white nations in the world, England. It's like, you really think that everyone's gonna be like,
poster child for oppression.
All hail the new Duchess, who's a half black, and one of her first roles was giving a blowjob on 90210.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I gotta watch it.
No, well, it's literally just like they just walk up to the car and she lifts her head up from some guy's lap. That's all it is.
Like I said, I think.
And
she's
if anyone's
gorgeous.
wondering, yes, I did. I didn't look that one up, but she's been on the search history because
I think she's gorgeous. I think she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. But she's also one of the dumbest people I fucking think are out there.
I can fix her. I can fix her.
Essentially.
I can fix her. I can be like, hey, stop being stupid. And she'll be like, why am I being stupid?
I think she's prettier than Zendaya. I think Zendaya's a way better actress.
Yes. I mean, it's one of those things, if we're going to start playing this or that, yeah, I would take Meghan Markle over. I mean, I would take...
If you were asking me to cast somebody, I'd take Zendaya.
I would take the girl that works in my local dispensary over Zendaya. But that's also because the girl that works in my local dispensary is good looking, so that doesn't help. I don't know. Zendaya, I've never really been that attracted to Zendaya.
I'm not like on a crazy train for Zendaya, but
right?
Like I can definitely see the appeal. I can definitely see the appeal.
There are some pictures where I see her and I'm like, wow, she looks gorgeous, and I'm like, is this her dress that I'm mostly stunned by? Because it's just,
I think she looks great in sweats.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some clips from Euphoria, and she seems to really be giving it her all. Yeah. So, and
she seems like a decent actress. Like, I've only really seen her in Spider-Man, but.
Yeah, she seems to really put in her effort.
She's better than Kristen Dunst. I'll give you that.
The thing about Zendaya, dude, like her most recent movie is a Luca Guadagnino movie, which is essentially when you say, "Oh, it's a Luca Guadagnino movie." It's like, okay, so there's going to be sex in 3 ways and there's going to be 4 ways. Like she does a lot of movies and shows where it's like,
oh, I think I know the tennis player one.
Yes, exactly.
That looks sexy. It looks sexy. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't watch. I mean, it's hard enough.
Poor Tom.
It's poor Tom. Well, Tom did an Apple Plus show where he had gay sex.
Good for Tom.
Good for Tom.
You remember the fucking intro? See, that's the second Spider-Man actor, though, to do like a gay love scene.
Who's the other one?
Tobey Maguire in fucking Tropic Thunder.
Oh, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
I know they didn't have sex in it, but that was brilliant, dude. Those like fake trailers, dude, were so funny.
I remember young me, I was like, "Is this the movie?"
Dude, they were good though.
What was the I love that pussy. I love that pussy. I love that pussy when then jump right out to the flow. And the booty sweat commercial.
Oh yeah. Dude, and then the Blackjack where he's supposed to be Tyler Perry movie commercial where he plays like 6 fucking different family members who all fart.
I think that was supposed to be an Eddie Murphy parody.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought Tyler Perry was fucking doing the same thing as Eddie Murphy in that movie.
I think...
Doesn't he play like a lot of the characters?
Yeah, I think he only plays the dad and the mom, Medea, in all those movies.
I could be wrong. I don't watch Tyler Perry.
Because I think Eddie Murphy was the one that did like all the fucking characters in one movie. So...
Was that one of his worst received movies? Or there was
Probably. Was it No, it's not Doolittle. It's
Flub.
Flub?
There's like one where he's a scientist and he like comes up with like a goo.
Yes. I think. I think right afterward.
I don't know.
I thought that was a different movie with a different guy. Maybe I'm wrong.
I want to say, I think that this is going to come out of left field, but I'm looking at your shirt up here. And I've been thinking about this for the past few days. That I think The Godfather is like a better, like overall cinematic movie, but I think that Goodfellas was way more entertaining.
I will say one thing. Can we hold that thought?
Yeah.
I have to pee again.
So yeah, I think Goodfellas way more entertaining, like way easier to just like appreciate it as like 2 hours of your life spent, whereas The Godfather is like kind of like the Shakespeare of cinema, where like this is not easily digestible in some ways, but it like leaves you with more than like just the basic message of crime doesn't pay.
I almost just sharted in the bathroom. Yeah. Dude.
And that's not to say that Goodfellas isn't like a cinematic masterpiece in its own right.
I haven't seen Godfather in a while.
I thought you were going to say at all. I was going to be like, Jesus Christ.
Who the fuck am I talking? I've been asking this guy for movie thoughts for all this time.
No, I could see how like somebody's like, it's just not my ish crime films.
My ish. No, I fucking love crime films.
I love them too.
I'll watch pretty much any crime film.
The Boondock Saints.
I haven't seen the Boondock Saints.
It's so bad, it's good, baby.
Isn't Bob Marley in it?
Yeah.
He's like the priest, right? You take that?
Hang on. Pause it.
Okay.
All right. So, the Boondock Saints, dude, is William Dafoe plays like a gay detective.
Gay.
It is part of like his character in that. Like, so fucking funny because like he's hanging out at all these gay bars, but like he's like,
I'm gay.
He's like creepily, hey, I like to suck dick.
I suck dick.
No, dude, he's gay, but like he fucking can't stand other gay people.
Classic.
Like, so like there's like a scene where he's in bed with another dude, right? And
he's like, you're gay.
So he gets a call about like a murder, and he's like, and his partner's like, you're not gonna stay? He's like, what are you, a fairy?
What are you, some fairy? No, fuck me in the ass.
Exactly, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was hilarious. It was funny all the way around, dude. Like, the two brothers were hilarious. Fucking Bob Marley was hilarious. Like, honestly, it's like one of those fucking just films that's so bad it's fucking amazing.
They made a second one too.
The second one was not good.
No, not even so bad it's good.
They have an Italian that you could be Like me, you, and Finn could like go as the Boondock Saints, and you could be Rocco.
Babada boopy.
You kind of look like Rocco if your hair was a little curlier.
I spill spaghetti sauce on me all the time. We can do it.
No, he's not like he's a low level fucking mob guy, right? And he's like
couldn't be me.
He's dishing out all of the fucking info to the two brothers on who to hit in the mob because he's fed up with not being promoted.
That makes sense.
Dude.
So he's kind of being the whitey.
He kind of looks like you, dude, doesn't he?
I just see a hairy man with sunglasses.
Well, I mean, if I was going to describe you to the police. Picture a Bigfoot if he wasn't big.
Like normal size Bigfoot, pretty wide, but
he looks like Che Guevara.
I look like Che Guevara.
You know, he's got that long flowing liberator hair. He's talking
Viva resistance. I am Che Guevara.
Like if Jesus Christ
like
came back.
I have been told I look like Jesus, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Dude, who was it? I want to say it was like Penguins, dude. Like Critical.
Oh yeah.
Critical like had like a whole bunch of like old ladies sharing his picture on Facebook because somebody like labeled him as like Jesus Christ. They were like, if you don't share this picture of Jesus Christ, it's a picture of Critical, then you don't love Jesus.
That's funny.
But he could really play Jesus in a movie. He's even like the same height of Jesus. Like he's like 5'5". That's like probably
Was Jesus that short?
Dude, there's an Irish comedian who does a bit, right?
You're like, his don't know?
His name is Tommy Tiernan.
Wow.
So, but he's like one of the funniest guys in all Ireland, and he goes, now I want, everybody's got BG Jesus in their head. He's tall, he's white, with the long hair.
BG Jesus.
Right?
Dude.
He's like, but think about the average height of a man back then. Think about the region he was from.
Have we gotten taller? Is that what you're saying?
No, we have gotten taller. So, like, think of the average height of a man back then. His skin color. Jesus probably looked closer to Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito Jesus is the real Jesus. Fuck your BG Jesus.
If Danny DeVito used a tanning bed. Dude, have you seen like the picture where it's like, this is what Jesus probably looked like, and it's just like a dude who owns a bodega.
A Persian nightclub owner.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, a Persian nightclub owner.
With more hair.
I am the power broker.
Do you ever watch like the episode of South Park where they're I'm gonna talk about South Park like every episode.
Do it.
They cover like everything. So they've
That's
already
that's my news.
What?
South Park.
Is it really?
No.
I was about to say you could almost watch South Park, but the fact is like they're like a week behind the news.
Yeah, they're kind of a week late, especially depending on what day they air during the week.
They definitely hit everything that's going on, like you said.
Pretty close.
Like, the fucking production cost and time is like.
Are they going right now?
South Park?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they just did the Pandaverse, which is like zooing all over Disney for changing every character's like sex and gender just for the sake of diversity. So like,
because I'd be so interested in seeing what they're gonna say about Israel, and
they're probably gonna say something soon. They're probably gonna say something. And Carmen's probably gonna be like a Zion, like an anti-Semite.
Carmen, you can't just hate a specific type of people because they kill other people.
South Park's so
sounds
big
like
now.
a G.
Dude, there's this guy on YouTube called like Mr. Bloom, and he breaks down like YouTube. He breaks down South Park episodes like on like their philosophical meaning and shit. Yeah. The guy is like the most pretentious ass I've ever heard though.
Really?
Yeah, he goes, I hope I start a beef with him because I will tear you to shreds, tiny child.
It's like this podcast with 30 views.
But no, he goes
shitting on me.
He goes, well, most people misinterpret South Park, but I won't because I'm a little more like literary.
Right,
like,
I am smarter.
I was just like, bro, dude, first off, my dad, who has a GED and not a high school diploma, probably gets South Park better than you because you're stuffing South Park. It's not Breaking Bad. Stop stuffing it up its own ass. The fucking points are there for everybody. Like, they're not, there's no like secret hidden message. Like, it's South Park, dude.
Well, it's like the oatmeal cookie. There's a whole philosophical idea about like, art and the oatmeal cookie, and you can either sit there and while you're eating the oatmeal cookie just pick apart every single fucking thing and make it out to be something so much more than it really is, and you're thinking about the ingredients, you think about where the oats came from, you think about this, think about that, or you can just sit there and be like, this is a really good oatmeal cookie.
I hate
and
oatmeal
it tastes
cookies,
good.
but
Bro, I'm talking about plain oatmeal, not oatmeal raisin.
I actually like oatmeal raisin better. I'm a chocolate chip guy.
Very interesting. You see, I could eat plain oatmeal cookies fresh out the oven.
Oh,
like
wait.
no debate. Like no fucking question. But then again, I could probably eat most things right out the oven, no question. So what am I fucking talking about? This ass. I baked that ass at 450 for 2 hours. Actually, that'd probably burn it.
What I
South
will
Park.
just like. Okay, Breaking Bad. One of the things I dislike is everything's a metaphor in Breaking Bad.
One of the things I dislike is everything.
I do dislike No, my brother's like trying to explain to me like all the metaphors in Breaking Bad.
Oh, see, I try to think about that later. I don't try to think about that when I'm watching it.
It's too much, dude.
Maybe you should just tell Finn to stop.
I was because like he started going over the color palette thing, dude, and I was like, shut up. I was like, this is interesting, but you're ruining things because now every time I see a color, I'm gonna be like, fuck.
So you can say like this means this, or that shows
Right.
this arc is done. It's like, oh, that's cool, but leave it at that, you know?
I think that
Was he doing like the Mexico color palette and shit like that, or the fact that they're like the kings of
in fairness to him, he didn't like go in so far that like I was like everything is ruined. He was just
going
like,
frame by frame? He's like, let's zoom in on this one.
He was just like yellow means like caution.
Oh,
And like in fairness, like it's not so fucking mind bending that I'm not like something's about you know what I mean? Like I didn't expect something to go down here. Like,
I didn't feel cautious there.
yeah, like I know like I have a good sense like some shit's about to go down. Like
Right.
like even though with the Jane scene, I was like something like before she died, I was like something is bad's gonna happen here.
You can just feel, I was thinking she was gonna wake up and
I thought
be
Jesse
like,
wasn't gonna wake
who the
up.
fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, shut up, Jane.
But like not every goddamn thing has to be a metaphor. All right, I'm just gonna say it.
And if it is, let me read about it later.
True, but like I don't want to, dude. I don't want Shakespeare.
You're
Give me Mark
genuinely
Twain.
getting to the point where you're like, even if I find out afterward and it's not stressful, fuck off. This
dude,
is
'cause,
fucking
like,
stupid.
You know that
The
kids are
curtains are blue.
exactly the door. Like dig up William Shakespeare with a time machine and be like, "What the fuck does the blue door mean?" It's a blue door.
I do think that there are so many writers and directors who have come forward after movies come out or shows come out and been like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Like
yeah.
that's what you want, yeah.
Dude, Tarantino with the box
Which box?
in Pulp Fiction, like he was like, "It's whatever you fucking want the briefcase to be." What's in the briefcase whenever
It's
they
in the
open
box.
it? Whenever they open it, it's like just shows a light.
Oh, okay.
So like people, like a lot of people, are like it's his soul. Like he made a deal with the devil and he got his soul back somehow or whatever.
It's just money.
Yeah, it could be. But Tarantino was like, it could be. I think
Whatever you want it to be, man. It can be your
Yeah,
feet. You
I
put your
think-
feet right up there.
it's Selma Hayek's vagina.
Oh, I'm getting hard looking at
Selma
your feet.
Hayek is fucking a smoke show.
Oh, she's gorgeous. She's been gorgeous for decades, and she's still
Decade.
gorgeous.
But anyway, the fucking thing is like somebody told me that Tarantino said it's just a light in the box. It's a light bulb, which like hilarious. But like,
They've been looking to change that light bulb.
what was I gonna say? So I also don't like the fact that he came out and he's like, "This is what everything means." Like, let me interpret. Like, you know what I mean? Like you.
Oh, you mean like as a creator, he's
Yeah,
like, this is
like,
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like let I guess it's your art, so do with your art what
Yeah.
you want. But at the same time, part of the great thing about art is like there's many interpretations that can be right.
And we've talked about, we've talked about over Instagram, like, interpretations in the eyes of the beholder.
Right.
And I think and I'm probably more of a child about it because there's I'm always about that. But then I'll see like a bozo ass fucking take on a movie or show, and I'll be like, yeah, well, the fucking guy says it's about this. And that's
Like I did with the South Park, dude.
What do you mean?
Like I was like, oh, only you get it, and I was like, his interpretation
yeah.
was wrong to me. Like I was like, you're an idiot.
No, I mean, and I think, fuck you.
But in fairness to me, South Park is one of those shows that's like, you know what I mean? The metaphors are supposed to be fucking
Right in your face.
face.
Yeah. They're right in your face, and they're absurd.
Yeah, like there's no way. Like The only way you could miss it is if you weren't like informed on the situation.
Right. So it's certainly like, I don't know. I come and go with that shit, which is my fault. But I mean, at the end of the day, if a movie or songs especially, you know, someone can write it about one thing and then you can listen to it and
Carly
be like,
Simon.
Who's that?
You're so vain. You probably think
Yeah, you
this
said that to
song
me
is-
the other. I didn't.
This
even,
woman. I'm gonna go.
I've
Hang
never
on. Let me
heard-
rant. Let me rant.
Yeah, I've
let me
never
rant
heard.
for like a time me so that you can get back to your.
I
point
don't care.
here.
Never heard the song before though.
You
so
have,
go.
dude. Can we pause it so I can play it for you? Like it's really hard to explain.
If
my
anyone
point.
wants to listen to the song while we're paused, and then you can come back when it's over. What's the song called, Seamus?
You're So Vain by Carly Simon.
You're So Vain by Carly Simon. We do have to stop soon though if we want to go to McDonald's. But we still have
Pause break for
We
McDonald's.
still have about 20 minutes. I mean, we can come back and eat McDonald's and continue if you want. But You're So Vain by Carly Simon. Come back to us if you want to, or just keep listening. Who cares? We didn't even listen to the whole song, but
I mean, that's the whole point. The only thing that you really need to know is the chorus. Definitely go back if you want to listen.
You're
It's a great
so
song.
vain.
Right. So she writes this
probably
whole
thinks this song
song
is about you.
this fucking dude, right? And it's like, you're so vain, you probably think this song is about you.
But she wrote the song about
him. Right? Like that is classic fucking woman fucking mind fuck games right there. Like to the T. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I can't second the absolution of that statement.
not every woman, but like classic fucking playbook shit.
Like we were just talking about, like when you got here, like the whole like people say every woman or every man, and then
That's
you're
right.
literally
No.
2 hours later,
Like every
women!
woman. No, but like that is definitely out of some toxic woman playbook fucking shit right there. Like, not toxic. I'm sorry.
No, I mean it's definitely like it's ironic. It's certainly ironic. It's a contradiction, and it's like
I think she knew it too, but obviously, it's like somebody like I cannot be the first person to be like, hey, like
there's obviously a spectrum of reaction, but like if I were the fucking asshole, I'd be like, well, yeah, I got a song written about me, so I must have fucking
But
I
that's the
must have
thing.
driven you crazy.
that's the thing. She dated so many people. Like it could have been like all of these guys are basically saying, "Am I an asshole?" by asking like, "Is this song about me?" Like I think it might. There's like a rumor it might have been about David Coulier from Full House.
Oh, is it the guy who played Uncle?
Jesse, cut it out.
No, oh, I thought Uncle Jesse was John Stamos.
You're right.
But Cut It Out is the funny uncle.
Yeah, the funny.
Yeah, and she was what with him, and then she.
I guess they like made fun of it on How I Met Your
So
Mother.
vain, but
Dude.
I wrote a song about you, and
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
supposed to
So,
be. So I'm gonna go fucking dick ride around town and be like,
Even as a kid, I was like, dude,
I'm the victim. I was betrayed because he told me he'd take me out to dinner, and
I'm just saying, like, dude, if it has to be about somebody, so somebody is right. All right, somebody's like, this song is about me, and they're right. And I think one line in particular is about Warren Beatty.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
is he the actor or is he a singer?
I think an actor.
Right, because he was the one that
My
was
mom
like,
kept saying like Warren Beatty, and I was like, that's great. I don't know who Warren Beatty is, but I'm just gonna nod my head and say, yeah,
yeah, that's great. That's great, Mom. Thank you.
right.
Because Warren Beatty, I think, is the one that at the he was the guy who gave away the award to La La Land when Moonlight won. Oof. But he wasn't reading.
Steve Harvey.
He literally just Steve Harvey. What was up with those fucking videos? That video you sent me last night.
I don't know.
I watched the weirdest shit in the world and post the weirdest shit, and even I was like,
I just go down absurdist rabbit holes.
"No,
like,
that's good. I think that's fantastic."
Like,
But
I-
even that got me. I was like, "What the fuck?" The one where he was like, "Ah!" It's like,
He's like
that
a
was
Wendigo
that-
chasing him through the woods and
I
he's
like
getting
the,
shit
I think he was just like on the ground coughing up a beer or something, and it was a third image, and I was like, "That's funny," but what the fuck am I looking
I
at?
love Steve Harvey, bro. He dresses like a Batman fucking villain, like,
Dude.
and I don't mean like he wears crazy, like his suits are all one color.
You
Like,
remember back when he had the flat top hair?
yeah,
He looked more like a
yeah, he did.
fucking Batman.
Yeah, he did. I don't
Now,
know.
Batman, you gotta understand that a woman wants a man who's gonna be home at night, not breaking bones.
And possibly
Listen,
fucking
Steve.
kids.
Steve, fuck you.
Like I know that joke's been made a lot, but Batman's definitely having sex with Robin, right? Like
No, whoa, whoa.
Matt. Every time one of those fuckers die, he literally just adopts another little boy and puts them in tights. Something's wrong there. fundamentally wrong. And I don't mean wrong my parents died. I mean like wrong like you should be on a
Wrong,
list.
my parents died.
Like, you know?
I think he maybe...
Why does it have to be a little boy every time?
I do agree with that. I do agree that it shouldn't... I've read some of the older comics where it's like it's literally a child, and I'm like, this is weird, dude.
Yeah.
Not in a sexual way. I just think it's weird.
I think it's sexual.
Oh, that makes me uncomfortable thinking about that.
I'm just saying, dude.
I'm just saying.
Then give him a
Maybe
fucking outfit that covers most of his legs and doesn't give him like fucking a bikini fucking right up in his ass. Like, come on. If it's not sexual, the man can wear pants.
The boy.
The boy can wear pants.
Oh gosh, I may never be able to look at Batman and Robin the same.
You've
again.
never heard that joke?
I have never heard.
Oh,
that
dude,
joke.
I've heard that joke a lot. Like, it's kind of weird that he has like all these boy wonders. And Kevin Conroy even made fun of it in the Venture Brothers, where he voices Captain.
Venture Brothers, of course.
Have you watched it?
No,
That's amazing.
is that the one where the guy's got like he looks like the Crimson Chin almost? He's got the white eyes and the black mask, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I was about to say, I don't know. It's Crimson Chin. Way to call it back to the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah,
That show was
dude.
hilarious in the early seasons.
My phone's up.
Kevin Conroy was the guy who voiced Batman in the anime.
Right. That's curious who his character is in Venture Brothers.
Oh, he's Captain Sunshine.
Captain Sunshine.
So, and he's always looking for a young ward.
Oh, really?
And he gets like wicked intense about it. Like, there's definitely something up with it, but the great
Captain what? Sunrise?
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
There's definitely
No, this is not the same guy I was thinking of. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, I've never thought of that. That's weird, and that definitely changes some things. I'm glad we've never gotten that in a movie. It made sense when it was his son.
If Robin was like an adult, it would be a great LGBT flick. I'd watch it.
I guess so, right?
Like, you know, broke Batcave.
You hear us, Matt Reeves?
Broke Batcave.
The Batman 2 coming out in 3 years.
Uh,
Make him gay. Make him gay.
Make an alternate universe.
Tyler's like thumbs up, like the
Thumbs up.
Chuck Norris thumbs up meme in the crowd.
Little thumb comes out of his beard. I'm just saying, like, it's weird. It's been one of the weirder things in Batman. Like, I love Batman. Batman's my superhero. I think he's the shit.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't make him only recruit kids.
It's fucking weird. All right?
It makes sense when... I mean, I'll put it to you this way. It makes sense if it's someone who, you know, shoehorns himself into the scenario, and then it's like, fine, you can be my boy wonder, whatever. And it makes sense if it's his son. But you are somewhat right in the sense that it happens 3 times. Which is like... It's like...
One of them died.
What happened the extra time? Yeah, Jason Todd. Rip Jason Todd.
Well, he's not dead. He's the Red Mask.
Red Hood.
Red Hood, sorry. But
That was the coolest part of Arkham Knight was when...
did you not know that going in? I already knew that.
I never
going in.
played it. I knew about Red Hood before I even knew
Okay.
about Arkham Knight. It was one of those things where it was like a rainy day and I was laying in bed and I just ended up watching like all the fucking game.
The clips.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa. Like,
I mean, that was a really good game. It wasn't as good as Arkham City, in my opinion, but it was still like a worthy predecessor.
yeah, I never got around to it, but I always heard it was like too heavy on the vehicle combat.
Yeah, I would say that, but like some reviewer was like, actually, if you like time out like the actual time you need to be in the like vehicle, it's like 11 minutes.
Oh, word. Okay.
Like I don't know. It was
Which is
something-
probably like 4 minutes in the other ones, and that's why it's so noticeable.
Yeah, and also if you're like super good at it, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying
Right.
to fucking glide around the city and beat the fuck out of some low level criminals. Like,
That's why Uncharted's vehicle combat was so good, because it would just, if you just held down R1, it would just auto aim onto people and it would make it cinematic. But then when you would shoot normally, you'd have to aim and all that. But dude, I always, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was about to say, I like cinematic mode for Red Dead that you can just like fucking sit back and press A.
And I'm so happy. Yes, I'm so happy that the actual cinematic mode in Red Dead is not, dude. GTA cinematic cam is like, yeah, you go into cinematic cam, but you're still in control.
Oh, fuck that.
So you just fucking
You can't
smash
see
into-
anything.
Yeah.
Because like with the Red Dead cinematic, they like do a close up of a tree for like a good 2 minutes, and
Right.
like you can't see your character. So
So
like
it's
if
like-
I was running off the road, I wouldn't fucking
There's
know.
a whole day. Yeah. I always, because I used to play Injustice the second one. Injustice 2 was a lot of fun, which is like Mortal Kombat with the DC heroes.
Yeah.
And
I used to suck at that game.
I had to practice at it, and after a while, I was like, I could be doing something else.
I could be playing Rock Band.
And that's pretty much
Sorry to dunk on you there.
another fucking thing where it's like I could be doing something else, but at least I never get to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna go do that thing. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep playing Rock Band, whatever. The colors are coming at me, and it's fun.
No, dude, I feel like that's like 90% of people though.
What?
Like sometimes I'll be like, I'm playing like a video, like okay, so like
like I should be watching movies I haven't seen before, but I'm just gonna watch the same one over and over again.
Yeah, that or like no, I have the same experience where I'll be playing Red Dead and I should be like working out, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop playing Red Dead right now, and then I'll do something completely unproductive in the other way. I'll be like, let me watch the entirety of Breaking Bad
from beginning to end with subtitles. And input from my brother Finn.
Yeah, exactly.
But
everybody's giving me input on that.
It's a great show
because like I needed to get through it because people.
Oh my gosh, you don't like it that much, do you?
It's growing on me slowly, but again, like
it's not pulling at you. That's okay.
The Wire spoke to me more. Like I think that the thing is like it's like a good drama, the Breaking Bad. But the thing about The Wire is it just mirrors so many things in real life with like. Yeah. Things that we haven't even come to a solution still, like even though it was made in 2000, like, and so when you go to The Wire, it covers every aspect of the decay of a civilization, like a sub-civilization, like say Boston, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like most of the drama in The Wire, like, is not totally unbelievable, like, you know what I mean? Like some of the shit in Breaking Bad, I'm just like, how the no.
Like two planes colliding?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, this is just craziness. Like, you know what I mean? Or like when he, like I've said it before, like when he fucking makes a battery, instead of deciding, oh, maybe I should pull the battery off the generator before I fucking even try to like start the generator. Like I could just pull the battery off and jump start the RV.
Yeah.
But like, he's so smart. He's like, I'll just make a battery. Okay, genius. Like, pull the battery off the fucking generator, like, you know, and like maybe it's like, oh, like he's really book smart, but like even still, like.
But does that make it not rooted in reality though? Because I think of when we watched Watchmen, and you were like, why didn't Ozymandias just do this? And like, I always feel like those questions can be asked for pretty much anything. Yeah. Right. So it's like, to me, it's like, does that make it not based in reality, or does that make? Because I think what I was going to say is that Breaking Bad is much more of a personal story, right, whereas the characters, right, and The Wire. While it may have, I mean, I'm sure it does have characters. I want to watch it, but while I'm sure it does have characters that have arcs and very human arcs, because I've seen, like, I know some of the deaths that happen in it, and it's very sad, and for people that you wouldn't expect to be sad about. But I think it has much more to say about society, whereas Breaking Bad is definitely more about, it's pretty much a deconstruction of
the American dream, like Great Gatsby.
I would say it's more of a deconstruction of male pride. Male pride and the medical system, the fact that
is like, by the way, I'm watching this and like every time like something comes up, I'm like, oh, this is really about how our care system sucks.
Like there's the joke, and I don't know the intricacies of it, but I always saw the meme where it was like, if Breaking Bad was Cuban, and it's like him getting the news that he has cancer, then it's like, your treatment starts tomorrow, have a good day.
Actually, I heard that the death rates for infants in Cuba is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Depending on who you talk to, it's either the place sucks or that place is mired in propaganda. It's one. I genuinely don't know anything.
Okay, so like if he was in the UK, you know what I mean?
The
like,
what?
Well, because the UK.
Oh, Walt in the UK.
Yeah, because like the UK is like a fucking normal country with healthcare.
They're pretty universal with their healthcare. So the treatment would start tomorrow. But would it be like one of those things where if you get the state funded treatment, it's worse than the privately funded one?
I think that the real question of Breaking Bad is like where he goes bad.
Where, I mean, I think it's probably. I've watched. I keep getting my fucking.
And I think he even. Oh yeah, you keep getting hung up on the nail.
There used to be posters up.
I think Walt answers the question himself, and it's with Jane.
Yeah, it's with Jane. I mean, the very beginning of him turning into Heisenberg is when he stomps in that kid's leg in the store in the pilot, when they're making fun of Walt Jr. and they're like, "Oh, my big boy pants," and then Walter, I'd
stomp on the kid's leg.
Well, he would, but or you would definitely, but I don't think Walter would. I think
so you're saying that's like his split right there.
that was when he finally got to a point where he's like, I got nothing left to lose.
Why split
I'm dying.
it though, bro? Why split it?
Because his wife is like, don't be a fucking psycho like that. And even though
I don't think that's psycho.
even though he did that, it's not like she was like, oh, Walt, so incredible you did that. Like she was like, oh my god, like she got kind of scared by it all. Even
if Renee beat the shit out of a kid for making fun of our disabled child, I'd be like, that's my wife.
what I'm saying is that like, and that's another thing too, is I have to say like, there are times where you're like, I wouldn't do this, and it's like,
yeah, but I'm not Walt.
Right, try and look at it more or less from like a.
Whereas like with
you almost have to become like a little bit of a therapist because it's like he's doing this because of this, not because I agree.
So
with
like,
it.
I think with like The Wire and Rescue Me, it's like way
Rescue Me is so good.
It's way easier for me to get inside the mind of an addict than it is for me to get inside the mind of Walt, who has like this inferiority. Like, I'm not gonna say like I never feel insecure, but like I definitely do not feel as insecure as Walt does. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm really comfortable with like, you know what I mean? I have some really bad aspects of myself and some really good aspects.
Well, there's a thing with like, Hank in the pilot,
I love Hank, and I know I shouldn't love Hank, and I keep saying it, and you don't say anything back. Like,
no, you send so much, and then like I look at my phone and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I know I'm live. I said this to Renee. I'm live tweeting. Like, this is actually how people watched it, and they were like live tweeting it, and I'm doing that to poor Matt. I'm like sending 80 messages.
It's like I feel like a kid who's cooking like on one of those Gordon Ramsay shows, and they're crying like. You
gotta go. I send this kid paragraphs of shit, dude. I'm just like, dude. I send him so much shit about Hank, dude.
I will have to say it is 10:04. Well, at this point, we'd have
pause
to go,
it.
At this point, we'd have to go to McDonald's. Do you want to go to McDonald's?
Yeah, let's pause it.
At this point, we're like,
because I have to finish this Breaking Bad.
No, I was gonna say, do you want to just go to McDonald's and then come back and then record until we're done? Pretty much. Okay.
That's okay with you.
That's 100% okay with me. Do you want to finish the thought before we go, or do you just want to go?
Yeah. So, I obviously like when you watch Hank. I think Hank is like on the inverse of Walt, like where Hank becomes so much more likable. Like the very first few episodes, you're like, fuck this guy, he's a racist. And then you're like, oh, it's really just the fact that he is literally stationed at the border. The only fucking people he sees, the majority of the bad guys he sees are like Jesse Pinkman type.
Jesse.
You know what I mean? Where like they're like wannabe gangbangers, and then like not that Jesse is, but like the way he dresses and talks, but
bitch.
Yeah. And then Mexican people, like, you know what I mean? Like, so like you can kind of, I'm not trying to dismiss, I'm not just trying to dismiss his racism, but like you can see where he's building his bias from. And like the other thing is like he becomes so much more likable. Like the way you see him interact with the kid, the way you see him, like he's so fucking close to putting it together. Like he has everything down. He's like, Walt, probably doesn't feel very powerful, so he probably went out and cheated. So close, but you did all the right work, but you did the wrong answer.
He's so fucking close. I will say this. I don't know. I mean, obviously there is an element to, and I've explained that to myself too, where it's like dude, Yates was the first one to, like, when he was talking about, he's like, people in Texas and New Mexico and Arizona, they're very anti-immigration. They want to do this and that. And I'm sitting there and I'm kind of like, in my head. And then he's like, but we don't experience what they do.
No, we don't.
They're running around in their backyard, and he wasn't saying like Mexicans are crazy fucking.
Yeah.
But like when
he's trying to explain the other point on like why you would be like, these goddamn Mexicans.
When you go out to your shed to get like a bag of soil and you find like a Mexican dude in there,
hunched
it's like,
over in your fucking.
It's like what the? It's like it's one of those things where it's like there's got to be a better way to do this. So I totally understand that.
The other thing is he's like exposed to the worst side of immigration.
Right, and that definitely comes when he gets his promotion. I will 100% agree though. Hank is by far and away, I think Jesse's a better character. I shouldn't say better. I think Jesse's a more dynamic character. I think Hank is one of the more interesting characters by far, if not the most interesting. Obviously, Heisenberg's Heisenberg and Walt's Walt, but like Hank is just so. The second you start seeing those little inklings of weakness, it's like I just lean forward in my seat whenever he comes on screen.
Dude, and he's like going through. I think maybe I have a bias towards him because he's going through PTSD, and I'm like, oh man, I feel for this guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And he's never like an overtly bad person. Like, you know what I mean? He's never like, I'm arresting this guy because he's a fucking Mexican.
He has bad thoughts and he says fucked up things and this and that.
But like he's also seen the worst of fucking society.
Right.
So like I agree with you. He's a very fascinating character, and like somebody told me, he's like in a world full of anti-villains, he's like the anti-hero.
Exactly.
So like he's probably coming from more of like my perspective. Like I want to do good. Like I would never sell drugs.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, who knows if I had cancer tomorrow? Like, you know, fuck. Yeah, exactly. Matt, we're cooking.
We curb serving, bro. Pull on up. We got the good.
Yeah.
Ours is blue.
Walt is fucking just. It's hard for me to stomach Walt. And like,
Walt.
you don't like Tony, but I love Tony.
Oh, Soprano, yeah.
Yeah. So I think Tony's kind of like the opposite.
Before we deviate into a new show, let's go get somebody.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Tony. That's what we got to remember.
Tony.
Oh yeah, like you present anything to smoking, and she's like, food. Food or a toy, a chew toy.
Me and Smokey have a lot in common.
I like Smokey, dude, but like, she is crazy.
Yeah, crazy bro.
I don't even want to say crazy because she's like not gonna hurt somebody, but like she's crazy. Like you have no idea what the fuck that dog's gonna do next.
Like there's not a thought between those ears or whatever, a thought behind those eyes or whatever.
I think there's a lot of thoughts. I just don't think that they're like sane.
We were talking about Tony Soprano before we left.
Oh, so I'm not a biggest fan of like Walter White and Skylar, but I am a big fan of Tony, but not a big fan of Carmela.
Carmela.
Yeah,
I don't like Tony.
I think he's got something about him, man. He makes him pop. Makes him pop nice, dude.
Kobe, where you going? My dog is with us now. I've got my McDonald's. Me and my McCrispy. Easy, dude.
Oh, he's up in the wires. He's got the tiny legs. He can't help it.
You got little tabletop legs.
He does. He has very cute legs.
No, I don't want to give you my food. My McFood.
The thing I like about Tony is like, it's just like, I don't know. He has no problem being the bad guy. I am the bad guy. I'll play my role. I was maybe born into this. Like, I think his anxiety obviously is genetic because his fucking son has anxiety. So, like, I think you could have made an argument if the son didn't have anxiety, like, he's not really comfortable with who he is. But he kind of ultimately is. Like, he doesn't really stress too hard about, like, having to do what he has to do. And I guess think if you're gonna go bad all the way, dude. Like, don't be a half-ass bad person.
I mean, yeah, he does. He's cool with doing that, but at the same time, he's also the first one to bitch and moan to everyone else about being the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy, he's always the first one to, and he kind of martyrs himself, and
Yeah, I guess.
which I think there's an element when you're the leader of something, then you're probably gonna, have to make tough decisions. You're gonna have to sacrifice your own happiness. You're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do that. I just think that he's just a. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of revealed in a way towards the end. Have you finished it?
I got to the part where June shot him.
Oh yeah, you haven't finished it yet, so I can't even talk about it.
It's hard for me to get through the coma episodes.
Oh yeah, because he gets shot and then he goes into the coma.
It's like a 3-story at least arc, 4 episode.
Yeah, and then he's Kevin Finnerty in those episodes. Jacoby, stop. There's no food over there for you.
I just also I like Chris better than I like Jesse. I don't know why. Because they're both junkies. They're both like loose ends in their own right. I think Chris is tighter put together than Jesse.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and granted, I haven't finished Breaking Bad, so maybe Jesse becomes like way tighter put together.
Well, there's a lot of pressure behind Chris, a lot more I'd say than Jesse. You go see him and I get no food. Hey man, go. All the boys are at my door.
Right, because this is like Chris is fucking born into this. Like a lot of the guys on The Sopranos are born into this.
I mean, his dad's Dickie Moltisanti.
Dickie Moltisanti.
And Dickie Moltisanti, who was the lead character in The Many Saints of Newark.
Which I haven't gotten to. Was it good?
It's not that good. I mean, it's kind of bogged down by fan service and whatnot, but it's something where I'm trying to line up exactly where we are. I mean, Chris wants the life, and he says it early on in the show. He's like, it's just like the regularness of life just fucks with me. It's a lot of it has to do with just death and the idea of what you're doing on this earth and how long you're going to be here before you croak and what you're doing and this and that, blah, blah. And
Anything ever could happen to you? No, and I don't think it will.
And guess what? Nothing did, you know, and it's like, so what? It happens.
Which is another reason that Polly's like really comfortable.
Well, Polly's great.
I think like all of them, a majority of the characters in there know who they are, and they just are like, this is it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to live this out, like, be the best fucking mobster, thief, whatever I can be. And, like, just survive to the best. And I
don't think they...
Maybe it's the male pride aspect of Breaking Bad. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't born into it. Like, nobody was putting pressure on him after he got his fucking... Nobody was putting pressure on him at all. He could have just accepted the money from his friends, walked away, and been the same person he was. But he didn't want to be that person anymore. He wanted to be Heisenberg. He wanted to feel like he was in control. And, like... It's just difficult for me to, like, be like, oh, like, this is a power trip for you?
Well, I think, like, I don't think the members, like, the characters on The Sopranos really had a goal of being the best they could be.
The best mobster?
No, I don't think any one of them did. The vibe I got was it's a job. There's vertical climb, obviously, like anyone wants to get promoted in any business. But a lot of the times, like, you know, Paulie just wanted to, you know... Yeah. He just wanted to fucking be Paulie, and Chris wanted to just not be in a mundane life. I don't think there was any part of them that wanted to be the best version of themselves that they could. You know, like, and I think there's an element where I don't think Tony really even has that. I think Tony's just okay with finding excuses for doing horrible, fucked up things because I gotta do it. You know, I'm the guy in charge.
Don't you know what IBM and Carnegie Steel did to get here?
With all due respect, you don't know what it's like to be in charge. And it's like, yeah, you're just using that as an excuse to do fucked up shit, and you know, say, hey, it's hard being the guy in front.
I mean, at what point though, like, can Tony even turn around? Like, you know what I mean? Once you're on this path, like, you know what I mean? You have to keep doing these things to stay out on the outside. Like,
on the outside? What do you mean on the outside?
Like, not in prison or not dead.
You mean being a criminal?
Yeah.
Well, he can walk away whenever he wants. I don't know if...
I don't think he could.
I don't. Well, I think you're asking that from a more like a personal perspective of like, could he personally walk away? Not a matter of if it's possible he could. Right. I agree. I mean, it's like those Fever Dream episode, or that one Fever Dream episode when he has the talk with the coach. It's like the coach pretty much saw a coach in him. He saw that like Tony could be a football coach if he really wanted to, if he applied himself, yada yada.
Because he's got good leadership skills,
right? And he knows how to make tough choices, and he handles pressure well, and this and that. And he just decided to go, frankly, you know, with the way that he knew, with the way that he was familiar with, and it.
I mean, is that
blah?
I mean, because they go into it in therapy where he's like he watched his mother get turned on by violence. You know what I mean?
I don't remember that part.
He's like with them during it's a flashback to when he's a kid during the Rose Bowl, right? He's listening to Notre Dame play like USC in the car while his dad collects some bills, right? Then he walks into the deli, right, where his father is, and he watches the father cut a guy's hand off or finger.
Right, I remember that part, yeah.
So like, and then when he gets home, the mother's like all turned on that he brought back the bills, the money. You know what I mean? And
I don't think that's her being turned on by violence, unless you're saying that that's how his brain registered it.
Probably.
Because it does, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like she's turned on by being provided for.
I don't know. That mother was fucking tapped.
Which is why when Carmela was like, I don't want to do this anymore, he was like, hey, fuck you. You whore.
Whores.
Fucking bitch.
The whores.
He's like, you knew the deal. You knew I was going to have a gumas. And she's like, yeah, well, I liked another guy. And he's like, you what, you bitch?
Yeah, I didn't like his reaction.
It's just a very typical reaction that, you know, people in those positions, they act like it's all, you know, about them and that it's fair until it becomes fair. And then it's like, whoa. But that was a great scene. It's a fantastic scene.
She annoys me. I can't.
Yeah, I don't like Carmela. She's really stupid.
It's not that I dislike Meadow. I just find Meadow's scenes kind of boring.
I hate Meadow's voice.
She's cute though.
I've always had a crush on Jamie Lynn Sigler, though. Yeah,
Very cute.
very, very. Yes.
The kids scenes together, not just like sometimes Anthony was like funnier because he was doing stupid shit, like
What?
throwing
No fucking ZD.
throwing like the entire fucking gym into the fucking pool. I was like, yeah, that's probably something I would do if I was high in high school. Like, you know what I mean?
I would never. When you're high.
I didn't start getting
thing
high until like way after I had started college. So like,
Most people who get high just want to lay around and eat and listen to music.
if I was crossfaded, then there you go.
Well, it's like the Breakfast Club when they all smoke weed and then like they go crazy and it's like, bro, who the fuck are you talking? Like,
Sometimes I go crazy, a little bit. Like,
they were smoking sativa.
I don't think I do like the shit that they do on the fucking Breakfast Club, but like I definitely get like animated.
They scream so loud they shatter the glass in one of those rooms, the library rooms.
Did they in the Breakfast Club? I don't remember that.
Emilio Estevez did, the wrestler. When he got high, he fucking went in one of those little quiet rooms in the library and screamed so loud the glass around him broke. And I was like, okay.
Not physically possible, but
No. And I'm pretty sure, like, the teacher would be like, what the fuck was that
I
noise?
know there would be so many questions.
Like, they're like, we gotta be extra, extra, extra quiet. And then they're like, boom, ba boom, ba boom, playing the music so loud and like fucking dancing on the railings.
Breakfast Club is classic.
It's a classic.
It's beautiful.
I do think it's one of those movies where I've watched it so many times in the last year that it's gotten to the point where I'm like, yeah, this part isn't as good as I thought it was. This part, like, I feel like they kind of gloss over things a little too much. And
I think everything's better on the first watch.
oh, usually,
You know, that's such a generalization, but
usually, I think, you know, when the surprise is there,
Yeah.
the element of surprise is huge. But then there are times like Blade Runner 2049, I got more on the second watch, and I was like, oh, this is a better watch.
that was a movie that stuck with me.
Such a good movie.
I actually didn't see any of the twists at the end coming, like, at all. Like, I thought he was the human for a while, and then I didn't realize until the second watch through that she had planted that, like she had planted the fucking idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I had to watch it again, because I was like, because I liked the original Blade Runner was amazing too. Like, it was a cinematic masterpiece in its own right. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Especially with the camera works and the music was really well done. Like the scores. Sometimes I'll listen to some scores from Blade Runner. Just like,
I don't like the first one, but
the first one.
I get confused during it. I don't know why.
So like they say, like if you add like 10 or 15 seconds to that film, it's a whole different film. Like,
Well, all the different versions that were made.
yeah, like just pick a lane. Like maybe that's fucking too direct.
The most recent one is Ridley Scott's preferred cut. The one that he originally sold to them and then they chopped up for theatrical release.
I mean, the theatrical release was fucking excellent too. I made poor Renee had to watch both of those once I watched it. Because I was like, no, you don't get it. We're all in a simulation. We're robots.
She's like, okay, I'll watch it. Okay.
Yeah, poor Renee. Whenever I get so deep into something, like I usually am like, no, now you watch. Like it's like that scene from Clockwork Orange, dude, where they're like peeling back his eyes.
Oh, yeah. And you're like, what?
And like dropping shit into her eyes. No, you can't turn away.
Now you'll tell me exactly your favorite parts when it's all over.
Renee like gives me. I'll watch shit without Renee that she suggests, and then like I'm sure that must piss her off.
It probably does.
But she talks through the thing, dude.
Oh, really?
When you talk, like I can do some talking, like you know what I mean, like a comment, like oh what the fuck, yeah. But like I don't even know how to explain it. She gives me like a lot of info, and I'm like Finn does the same thing, and I'm like no, dude, like let me watch it. Like I have the subtitles on and like I just want to breathe in like every second of what's going on, and like sometimes I'll rewatch like the same scene like 6 times in a row, just because like it's not registering with me
right
until like I have like every I do it with books a lot. It drives Renee crazy when I listen to audiobooks. I'll re-listen to the same fucking sentence like 10 times until I have a complete understanding of what the person's trying to say. And the same way I read, like, so I read really slow, but like really complete. Like if you ask me like what did they say in paragraph 4, I can like tell you exactly what they said in paragraph 4 because not because I have photographic memory or I'm super smart, because I'm an idiot and I had to reread it like 10 times to fully get what you were saying. But with that comes like a deeper understanding of what you're trying to say.
Yeah. No, I think talking during movies is a no-go for me, or shows.
If we've seen the show a bunch of times, like if we were to watch
Oh,
It's Always
100%,
Sunny,
yeah.
like different.
If it's like a game, like a sporting event, to me it's like I'll talk during that.
Yeah.
But like my mom does it all the time. God bless her. But I'll have something on where it's like a video essay where someone will be talking about something in detail. And she'll be quiet like all morning, and then I'll put that video on, and then she'll just start talking like all throughout. Like not about it too. She'll be like, "Did you hear about this that happened? Hear about that?" I'm like,
Renee will do the same thing if we're watching something that's not like what she suggested.
"Yeah." There's like completely not of their interest, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"Hey, did you hear about this?" And it's like,
I'm in the middle of something.
I do that. I've like to my mom. I've like shut off and like put the remote down very politely, mind you, and she'll be like, "What, was I too loud?" And I'm like, yeah. And she'll be like, "Well, I'm sorry," and this and that. And I'm like, "Well, you're not really that sorry."
It does drive me nuts, but like at the same time, like she wants to talk to me, so like, what am I gonna be like? Fuck you, bitch. But
You do have a fiance who loves you, so.
Yeah, so I just rewinded a bunch of times until she's like, "This is a fruitless effort."
But she,
I'm just kidding.
She could also be like, I know he hates this, so I won't do it.
She can't help it. She gets excited, and that's one of the things that I think is really cute about her. When she gets excited, she cannot stop talking. And like I'm also I do the mansplaining thing where if I've read something, like I'm reading a book about 5 points, I guarantee you guys I'm gonna mansplain 5 points to you guys like fucking crazy. Like
I don't think it's mansplaining.
Whatever. Fucking info dumping. I think that is like a majority of what people are like, that's mansplaining. It's just like a guy info dumping like something he's passionate about. I think it becomes mansplaining when you like talk down to somebody and you're like, oh, like
right.
As a woman you don't get like, you know what I mean? You have to have like this type. But like I feel like a lot of it is just like we're kind of like all guys are kind of like that. You know what? Generalization. Most guys are kind of like autistic and they're like, let me fucking info dump the entire history of the Bruins to you. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Because this is what I'm passionate about. I want you to like, share this passion with me.
Yeah, people get that shit mixed up all the time. I mean, the biggest thing right now, like on the internet, is like people are like, "That you're coping. That's cope."
Coping.
Well, coping. Like people will be like, "No, I don't think it happened like that," or "I don't think it's like this," or "To me, it's like this." Like if it's any type of opinion that goes against whatever's being presented, they'll be like, "No, it just sounds like cope." And it's like, no, what you're trying to think of is denial, because what you're thinking of is someone denying the truth, and coping is accepting the truth and learning to live with it. There's a fucking difference. So that just reminds me of that, where it's like, yeah, it's info dumping.
So people are like in denial, but like people are saying they're coping.
Yeah, like they'll be like, that's copium, like that's the new thing, like opium, but it's coping. It's so stupid. Either way.
Yeah.
I do have to say, we've been recording for like 4.5 hours.
That's good. Are we releasing 4.5 hours straight, you think?
Huh?
We giving them the uncut Snyder version?
I mean, I think I have to listen. I didn't fucking put in enough fucking flags to censorship, but I don't know. You want to keep going, or you want to?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, I just think it would be easier with Thanksgiving. We can just cut like an hour or two out of this and be like,
what?
I think with Thanksgiving, instead of like worrying about like getting back up or back down there,
Well, that's a fair point.
Just for this one time, take like one and cut like an hour off of it and put it on its own episode or whatever.
We did go 3 weeks this time, so
yeah.
Who knows? Either way, I'll figure it out. But
I don't know. We're in a.
You can go and stop eating.
We don't know if we want to. I don't know if I want to release the uncut Snyder version. Matt is just like Schneider version every time. Give them the 3.5 hours. If they gotta pee, fuck them. I'm just kidding. That's way more nuanced than that.
I mean, I listen to 4-hour podcasts over the span of a few days, so.
I'm the same. Like, it's just, I don't know. You're right. I gotta have thicker skin. Maybe I'm not like an artsy person because I can't take criticism when I get criticism. Like, I'm very sports-like about it.
When you talk about cutting off an hour, is it to satify the people who say it's too long? Oh, fuck. Well, I say fuck them.
Yeah, see, like, and then like I come from like, oh well, the coach said it, like, you know what I mean? I got to work on my footwork. So if the footwork's got to look better. It's got to look better. And art's more about like, did you enjoy actually making this? Like,
Well, not only that, but like you're the coach.
Yeah. So like you're probably right. Like fuck you, Chrissy. If you made it this
Yeah,
far,
whoever
fuck
that is.
you.
Listen to us over the span of a few
I
days.
love you, Chrissy. No, I mean, I'm getting more into
Getting that-
audiobooks than I am
McDonald's
into
and
podcasts as of late.
More into audiobooks and podcasts.
Yeah, I feel like really pretentious when I listen to
Why?
it. Not pretentious. I want to be able to feel pretentious, so I can be like, I listened to a book on this, and you're wrong. Let me explain. Let me info dump this entire book into your brain.
And then someone somewhere's going to be like, oh, well, I read it and you listened to it.
I know. I'm so pretentious. I was like, Renee, like, if you ever get me a big like birthday gift, like all of the books that I listen to on audiobook, like in hard copy form, so I can put it on my bookshelf.
And just keep it behind you for Zoom meetings.
And I didn't even really think about it, but she's like, "Do you understand like how pretentious that is?" And I was like, "Yeah." when you pointed it out, I was like, "No," because like I'd also like to be able to like flip to a certain page and be like, "This quote right here," or like, you know what I mean?
Right, and look over your glasses.
Oh yes, dude, and a nice tweed
Get a monocle.
stogie. Have you seen A Bronx Tale?
No, you were talking about that last night.
Oh, it's
the other
great.
night?
Great. It's probably.
Is that another kind of mob movie?
Yeah. It actually has the kid who's Chris's friend.
Huh?
In The Sopranos, his friend that's like a fuck up, like you know the two fucking stooges, who like wind up shooting Chris.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the kid with the black curly hair is the young child in that, or not the young child. He's like the fucking when he grows up to be a teenager. That kid plays him. You know, he's like actually been to prison.
Yeah?
Yeah, he played too many bad guys. Thought he was a bad guy. Thought he was a criminal.
That's a
Obviously.
good way to do it.
What?
You say he told people he was a bad guy? What?
No. He played too many criminals. Thought he was a criminal.
Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly what his charge was, but I think it was like B&E or some shit.
Caring too much.
I don't think it was a drug charge like a typical Hollywood like fucking DUI or.
Nothing cool. Well, B&E's pretty cool.
That's Dan Cook does a whole fucking section on why B&E's. Dan Cook, dude. I don't even know why that fucking came across.
Dane Cook?
Dane Cook. I listened to a fucking breakdown of his rise to fame and how he was like the first comedian to really utilize social media on MySpace and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like other comedians, like it used to be like you just put your fucking time in at local circuits and shit and hope that you got spotted. And Dan Cook was like fucking running a MySpace page with like clips and shit. Or like he was inviting people to come see his fucking performance so that it pumped up the audience. And like I think that him and Joe Rogan had like some beef.
Yeah. Well, I think he was accused of stealing jokes a while back.
Yeah, he was. A ton of them, right?
So I don't know if that was related.
But he stole them from Louis C.K., so I mean...
You know, who cares? Fuck him.
Don't steal from Joe.
What?
I said, don't steal from Joe. He'll shoot you with a bow.
Yeah, he will. I would say do it, but Joe might actually react a little wild and talk about you on the show and then hunt you with a bow.
Which is probably like the opposite. Joe Rogan's like so fucking even keeled. Probably like, yo, man.
Like, that's fucking bullshit, man. I wrote that joke, man. But I remember Bill had a lot of good things to say about Dane and about his stage presence and how it was just wild to watch him when he was still young.
Yeah, he was like really energetic, dude. Like,
Yes.
A lot of his comedy, I feel like, came from like his body motion. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like he was like, like he was like the kid like in class who like clearly had ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he was like fucking
There's a lot of crouching, you know, he always gets his hands into it, his eyes get all big.
just
you know?
like me.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, you hear about just the influence that he, you know, I don't want to say the influence, but just like the impact he had on the...
He was gone so quickly.
Yeah, I think, wasn't it shortly after he got called out for stealing jokes that he kind of just died off?
I don't think that actually had to do anything with his downfall. I think
Really?
he had like, his brother stole like $500,000 from him.
That'll do it.
And then he like became disillusioned or something. It's fucking
He
weird.
became disillusioned.
It's weird. And he like told another comedian that he was stealing his essence.
Really?
Yeah, so he was like, you're dressing in t-shirts and jeans, and you're fucking making weird movements on stages. And the guy was like, he was like, I was trying to find myself as a comedian, so I wasn't really myself at that point, but I definitely wasn't trying to be Dane Cook. Sorry. And he made those 2 shitty movies too. Like they were really bad. Good Luck Chuck or
yeah, Good Luck Charlie, right?
Yeah, or something like that, where like every girl he dates winds up getting married after him.
We did Employee of the Month with Dak Shepard and Jessica
that good?
Simpson. No.
No, not even close.
No, it was a very forgettable movie.
I feel like a lot of comedy movies from that era were like just
Mid.
garbage. You had like some of the top echelon of comedy movies, and then just garbage. Just
Dude, it's so hard to like. I mean, for every Anchorman, there's like 50.
Zach and Mary make a porno.
Yeah. I think some people, because that was a Kevin Smith movie, I think some people have a little bit of a soft spot for that one because it has like the Kevin Smith effect to it. But like
I didn't like anything after Clerks. And no, there's one Bob and
Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You're a sheep fucker.
Hey, this guy's not one of us. He says he'd fuck a sheep.
That was pretty good. Dude.
It's Sean William Scott, and he's got those fucking teeth in his mouth. He's like, oh, that's not good. People only know that skeevy stoners fart.
I mean, my favorite fucking movie from that era would probably be either Wedding Crashers or Old School. It was fucking classic.
I couldn't like Old School. I haven't seen Wedding Crashers.
Well, I don't think you would like it. It's definitely like male frat fucking.
Right. But I think it's like they fall in love in the process.
No, that is Family Guy does a great thing on that. It's like every Vince Vaughn movie. I'm incapable of feeling love. Oh no, wait, no, I'm not.
That's fun. That's funny. That's a good bit.
Fucking
Vince Vaughn is pretty much been blacklisted from Hollywood
why?
because he said he was one of the people that was like teachers should have guns, and people were like,
I don't think that's a reason to be blacklisted.
I don't think it's a reason to be blacklisted. It's a reason for anyone to be like, oh, okay, that's a little intense, whatever. I get your point. But now he's just like he does S. Craig Zoller movies, and Zoller's like a conservative, I guess. So.
Was that did he do that under the one where he was a white supremacist? Was that one of his films?
That was a Zoller movie, yeah. But that was actually incredible.
Yeah.
Brawl on Cell Block 99. That was one of the greatest. I would even say one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Really?
Yep.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I keep meaning to check it out.
It's pretty gory at the end.
Yeah.
But
what I watched last week was Reservoir Dogs. Did I tell you that?
Yep.
Great film.
I think. Did you say that on the podcast or no?
I don't think so because
No, you talked about Pulp Fiction. That's right.
yeah, I'm trying like maybe I've been too harsh on Tarantino, not as a person, as a director. Like,
Why? What do you mean?
I just when I was younger, I was like too gory, eject. And the only film I really liked was Inglourious Basterds because I'm a dialogue guy. Like dialogue to me is the most important part of a movie. Like, I want to be able to quote it over and over and over again and like think about the movie. Like I don't even like action does not matter to me. Like the quotes, the character design I guess would be second, and then like maybe cinematography. And I don't even notice cinematography until like I would watch it the second time. I'm like, oh yeah, look at how he sweeps to that door, dude. Like that guy just wants to escape. That's why he's sweeping to the door.
See, for cinematography, I just tell people like, does it look cool? That's all you got to look for. It's like, does it look cool? Does it look nice? Does it make you feel a certain way? Like, is it you try to look too much into it, you'll start wrapping your brain in circles.
Like the oatmeal cookie.
Just like the oatmeal cookie.
What was I gonna?
Oh, I'm shaming myself because I want to have the rest of this burger so bad.
Reservoir Dogs was so good, but it's one of those films that's based on a film made in Bollywood, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, he stole the plot from... He didn't steal the plot, he adapted the plot from somewhere. And then his plot got adapted, and Tarantino actually really liked the adaptation, like, a lot.
This is good. I like this.
Yeah.
Get your feet right up there.
He's a weird dude. Django Unchained was really good, so, like, maybe... I haven't watched Kill Bill, either. I don't know, is it worth a watch? Or?
The first one's a really good action movie. It's like what I was talking about with The Raid. It's like a, it's
Hong Kong, like...
Yeah, you go for, the choreography, you go for the action. There's less about the story. The second one is much more of a story-driven movie. You'd probably like the second one.
I do like story-driven. I am a story-driven type of guy.
I just like anything that looks cool or entertains me.
You know, dude, there's a movie that I really want to watch that just looks cool, even though it's like this dumbest concept. It's like a kung fu movie about a soccer game. Have you seen you might have seen, no?
No.
Oh yeah, like it's like choreographed and everything. Like the guy like fucking kicking a ball and he's like 5 feet up into the air, like fucking pedaling forward until he fucking makes contact with the ball.
That's the shit I can't stand is when they start levitating and shit like that.
Well, it's supposed to be a riff on like classic kung fu movies.
Oh, it's supposed to be kind of a joke then? Or?
Yeah. It's a soccer game where they're like kung fuing.
Well, I didn't know if they're taken seriously or not.
No. It's so definitely supposed to be like lighthearted.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Like from what I can tell from the clips, like, you know what I mean? I'm sure like,
Right.
there's like some sentimental moments strewn about.
Strewn about, like your entrails.
Essentially.
All right, I'm full. I think we've got enough.
All right. What's our sign off here? I'm gonna fart into the mic.
Can you? No, if you don't
could.
want to. If you want, well,
Ruin your mic.
I'm gonna have to put a piece of tape on it and be like Seamus on it, and masking tape. Seamus's ass has been here.
That you can like put it up to Bandit's nose and he'll be able to find me
There you go. Yes.
if I ever go missing.
Yeah. I only have one thing to say. You want to say your thing first?
I don't have a
You
sign
got nothing?
I don't know how to do a sign off.
Well, mine's political. So
Okay, go ahead.
free Palestine.
Free Palestine.